The scene unfolded with a view of a girl holding her mother's hand, saying, "Mama, Savina, think how did things come to this? My dad died, and now my mother is sick. I can't lose my mother like this too. Just hold on a little longer, Mama. I'm going to save you," he added. "Come on in. Servants say there's someone here to see you, Your Grace." Benjamin Charlot replied, "What is this? I didn't put up an advertisement for a maid." Servants say, "Oh, it's not like that." Savina said, "I'm not here to become a maid. She think here, this is. I'm sure he knows what this is, because it used to belong to my dad, Liam Charlot." Benjamin Charlot asked, "What's your mother's name?" Savina replied, "Her name is Renata. She used to work here as a maid." Benjamin Charlot added, "I see. It must have been a great love after all." He said to servant, "You can leave." He asked, "How has your mother been doing since Liam died?" Savina explained, like most of the women who raise their children by themselves in this empire, she's experienced much hardship while living in POV. Most people would take pity on me after hearing this, but the members of this family would probably laugh and say that my mom and I deserved it. I heard they hated mom because she was a maid. Benjamin Charlot say, "Living in poverty, Savina added, "But this was the only place I could come to for help. I need to do whatever I can to help my mom recover from her illness. My mother is ill right now. I know you don't want to help, but please save my mother." Benjamin Charlot said, "You want me to save your mother? Savina, you didn't come here expecting me to actually help you, did you? Because Liam ran away with your mother just for love, our family lost its heir, and I lost my older brother. There is no reason for House Charlot to help your mother at all. Savina say, I am your older brother's only child. You'd probably feel more at ease if I, a member of the Charlot bloodline, were to stay near you. If you save my mother, I will move in here and live a quiet life. I will no longer contact or interact with anyone I used to know ever again." Benjamin Charlot replied, "Do you understand what you are saying right now? Your mother would be included in that group of people as well. You will never see her again in your lifetime." Savina say, "I'm prepared for that." Benjamin Charlot added, "What's your name?" Savina replied, "It's Savina." Benjamin Charlot say, "And your age?" Savina say, "I'm 8 years old." Benjamin Charlot added, "All right, Savina. Savina rolled the Charlot will be your name from now on. I'll save your mother. So, don't ever forget the significance of your name, like your father once did." Liam's daughter came? Servant came. "I apologize, Your Grace. I didn't bring her here first because I was concerned about your health." Grandfather added, "It's fine. I'm not interested in meeting his daughter anyway. He was a foolish son who let his father down. You think you're always right about everything, father? Wrong. You will be able to realize how mistaken you were for the rest of your life. You fool! You ruined our family's reputation by falling for a mere commoner. You will come to regret this. He'll only struggle to survive once he leaves home. He will eventually ask for my forgiveness and come back. I know it won't be long till. That was already 13 years ago, 3 years later. Is everything finished? Melissa! What are you doing here?" she replied. "I was about to suffocate from the tense atmosphere in the dining room, so I slipped out. The previous Duke Charlot is so strict with Lady Savina that even I get nervous during mealtimes." Maid reply, "I told you to just act like it didn't happen. His Grace treats Lady Savina like that all the time." She's right. And I understand why the previous Duke Charlot hates his granddaughter. Lady Savina is a failure as a Charlot. Melissa shocked. "What does that mean?" "You know that House Charlot possesses the amazing power of water magic, right? Their ability with water is passed down through the family's bloodline, so everyone in the family is born with the power. The current Duke is very talented, but I heard that Lady Savina's father was also just as exceptional. People thought Lady Savina would be as skilled as both of them, but she didn't show any signs of possessing her family's power even after turning 10, when the ability usually manifests. That's why everyone said it was because she has the blood of a low-born commoner." Grandfather added, "I give you more than enough money for clothing, but I always see you in the same clothes. Do you want people to mock House Charlot by saying that a lady of the family only has one dress to wear?" Savina replied, "I'll be more careful," she thought. "He was the one who criticized me every time I tried on a new outfit. I'm not surprised anymore, though. This has happened all the time after I moved into this manor. After all, who would be kind to the illegitimate child his dead son left behind?" Benjamin Charlot added, "The prince will be here soon. I'm thinking about letting him use the bedroom at the end of the corridor on the second floor of the main building, grandfather replied. I see. It's a great honor that Her Majesty has entrusted the prince's education to our family, so be sure. Yes, father. Yes, your grace, grandfather added. We'll have to relocate your bedroom to the annex for the time being. When the prince arrives, don't come near the main building and stay out of sight. And if you do happen to run into the prince, tell him you're just a servant working here at this manor. Is it because he doesn't want to show the noble prince his granddaughter who has a commoner mother? I can't even introduce myself as part of this family, she replied. Yes, your grace, it's okay. Savina, think this is not the first time I've been treated like this. I shouldn't forget. I'm here for my mom's treatment. I can handle being ignored like this. Then, let's conclude our discussion of the fifth Prince Ricardo. I'm sorry, what did I just hear? The fifth Prince Ricardo. It can't be. I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling well because I have indigestion. May I be excused first? Grandfather added. Do as you wish, Savina said. Thank you for your understanding. I'm feeling sick. Ricardo, that is the name of the psychopath prince in the book that my friend wrote. At first, I thought I had been reborn. Mom, Dad, look at this. According to a relative who works at the Imperial Palace, the fifth prince is not like other children. I've heard that when he hunts, he kills animals without even hesitating. It's as if he likes the sight of blood. That can't be true. The prince is still a child, but they say anyone would think that if they saw the prince's eyes. They're quite frightening, Savino thought. That's interesting. What they're saying is similar to the way characters are introduced in books. Especially the description of the prince. He paused for a moment, then said to himself, No, it's impossible. There's no way I was reborn as a character in a book. After a brief silence, Savino continued. I used to believe that, but the fact that I'm being mistreated as an illegitimate child in a prominent noble family, and the fact that the fifth prince, Ricardo, will stay here for a while, these things are all identical to the situation depicted in the book. He then recited from memory. The main character of the novel The Chronicles of Cesario is Ricardo Gale de Cesario. He endured a torturous childhood as an unwanted prince and was banished to the battlefield to fight monsters as soon as he became an adult. There, he met and was saved by the female lead, who was also a saint. The male protagonist ultimately succeeded in defeating the great demon, became the next emperor, married the saint with everyone's blessing, and lived happily ever after. Savino scoffed. The male lead isn't charming enough. A good guy who had a tough childhood. Isn't that a little boring for a male lead these days? A voice responded. Then what kind of changes do you think I should make? The male protagonist must be cool no matter what. Let's say that he's perfect in every way, but he doesn't have any feelings. And the female lead will make him feel things through love. Savina? Why does she have a bigger role in the plot than the female lead? That's because of the plot detail that says the male lead is supposed to be traumatized after Savina dies. Why not have the male lead kill Savina himself? He'll be a psychopath with no emotions, girl said. That sounds like a good idea. Savina became angry. What do you think you are doing? You should be proud of your work. You can't just change the plot of your novel based on someone else's advice. Don't you feel sorry for your protagonist, who's gotta be a psychopath now? She think. Wait. It's that dream again. Yes. I remember the name clearly. My friend changed her novel based on my advice, and the book became as dark as Ricardo's cold-hearted personality. Afterward, I was reborn with the fate of being killed by that prince. I was happy for my friend because her book became popular after she made changes to the plot. Or maybe it was because she changed the later title of the book. Epic of the Cesario Empire became the Psychopath Emperor. But I can't believe I was reborn as a character in this novel. I guess I didn't have any magical talent because I'm not the real Savina. Anyway, I have a situation to deal with now that I know the fifth prince is coming. Isn't there a way to stop the events of the novel from happening? She think, at this rate. How do I stay away from that scary prince? I don't want to die. Why weren't you in the classroom? Do you even know what time it is right now? This voice is. But today's class is, Madame Clarissa shouted. I asked the servants to inform you that your afternoon class was moved so you could have it in the morning, Savina replied. No one told me that. Plus, it's only 7 o'clock. Even a morning class should start later than that. But there would be no point in protesting about this. She added, Now, Lady Savina, I'm simply educating you in accordance with the previous Duke's instructions. That's right. The previous Duke Charlot, who is my grandfather, put Madame Clarissa in charge of my education. Clarissa added, Today, we will continue learning tea etiquette from the previous lesson. The previous Duke was irrationally concerned about my education, which gave Madame Clarissa more power as a teacher. Thus, her words were law in these lessons. If they're trying to push me so I reach my breaking point, Madame Clarissa is the most ideal person for the job. Madame Clarissa did an excellent job of helping me catch up on all my courses in just 3 years. But I don't think it's because she taught well, or because she's a great teacher. Clarissa say, Please pour the tea into the cup. Savina think, After all, she's waiting for me to make mistakes. This is simple. She wants me to pour more tea into this large cup. Clarissa said, What are you waiting for? Pour some more. Please lift the cup now. Savina think, I can't believe she made me fill this big cup to the brim. She's doing everything she can to find fault with me. It's so heavy. I feel like I'm going to spill it. Clarissa added, Your fingers are up way too high. Melissa said, My lady! Are you all right? Here is a damp towel for you. Madame Clarissa smiled. That's why you should have done it the way you were taught. Clarissa say, What's with that rebellious look on your face? What's with that rebellious look on your face? Savina reply, I don't think that is what you are supposed to say, Madame Clarissa. Clarissa said, This is unbelievable. You're not trying to blame me for your mistake, are you? If you were a real member of the Charlot family, you could have easily avoided this kind of accident. Savina think, She's always so intent on causing me trouble. Miss Savina, you're not standing up straight. If you drop the books on your head one more time, there will be no lunch for you. Today's lesson is to stay in that same position until dinner time. I put up with everything because I didn't want the adults to hate me even more. If I kept doing that, I thought I would be able to see my mom one day. But what's the point if I'm going to get killed by the prince? Nobody is going to protect me. I can't stand being treated like this anymore. Clarissa added, What do you think you are doing right now? Savina replied, You are fired. What do you think you are doing, Miss Savina? Savina explained, I just fired an employee who caused physical harm to their employer. Is there a problem? Clarissa said it was simply an accident that occurred while I was doing my best to teach you. You can't disregard my sincerity in this manner. Miss Savina, you are to call me Lady Savina. Since you've been dismissed, you are no longer my teacher, Savina say. I don't think you have what it takes to be a teacher for someone. Clarissa shocked. What did you say? Savina said. Melissa, show her the way out. Melissa added, Madam Clarissa, I will show you the way to the door. How dare you? Savina thought. She's insane. She used magic on an ordinary person. Clarissa said, You want me to call you Lady Savina? You are just like your mother. You don't know your place, and your actions are inelegant and unsophisticated. I worked so hard to remove traces of your lowly background, but I guess my efforts were in vain. Savina think, she's saying that again. She insults my mother and my bloodline every chance she gets. You liked my dad a lot, didn't you? My dad was supposed to get married to Madame Clarissa, but because my dad ran away with my mom, Madame Clarissa's engagement was called off. So I assumed she was bullying me because I was my parents' daughter. But strangely enough, she only ever spoke poorly of my mom. Savina explained, It must have been an arranged marriage between two mage families, so she could have married His Grace instead of my dad. If being a duchess was what she wanted, that is. But since you didn't, I suppose that means you really liked my dad. Clarissa sobbed. Shut up! What makes you think you can say such things to me? You must know what will happen if the former Duke Charlot finds out about this. You didn't forget that I was hired by the former Duke himself, did you? I'm not like your mother, who was kicked out. She think. She's right, the former Duke Charlot's orders are absolute. But there is one thing you forgot, Madame Clarissa. You are the one who will be thrown out, Savina said. Do you truly believe that His Grace will chase me out when I'm a direct descendant of House Charlot? I'm glad that my dad chose my mom. If he had married a woman like you, he would have been unhappy, Clarissa said. Quit talking, Savina say. I think I understand why my dad ran away with my mom after abandoning you, Clarissa replied. How dare you say such things when you have no idea what happened? You are that lowly woman's daughter. How dare you? Savina thought. She's going to hit me. But how come I don't feel anything? Benjamin Charlot entered. Madame Clarissa, what do you think you are doing right now? Your Grace, this is not what it appears to be. Madame Clarissa, step outside right now. Savina, I need to speak with Madame Clarissa for a moment. Wait in your room until I call you. Yes, Your Grace. Savina think, is he upset right now? My lady, are you alright? Savina think, she's the one who went to get the Duke. I wasn't trying to run away. Madame Clarissa's magic attack hurt so much. If I'm right about the Duke being upset with Madame Clarissa, then come in. Did you call for me, Your Grace? I did. Explain what happened this morning, Savina thought. Explain? Did he believe Madame Clarissa's story after they talked? No. What Madame Clarissa said doesn't matter. If anyone needs to ask for forgiveness, it's Madame Clarissa, not me. What's there to explain? Benjamin say. Why did you dismiss Madame Clarissa? She claimed that you suddenly threw a fit and said insulting things to her. Because you didn't want to take her class. She say. Do you believe what she said? That depends on how you answer the question. I can't make a decision just by hearing one side of the story, Savina say. I should have known better. I can't believe that I thought he would take my side. It was a class on tea etiquette. I was holding a teacup that was filled with tea. The cup was roughly the same size as the one in front of you. Madame Clarissa hit the back of my hand with a stick and said my posture wasn't good, which caused me to startle and spill the cup of tea. As you can see, I got burned because of that. I heard that Madame Clarissa was supposed to marry my father. Can you be certain that her behavior wasn't motivated by malice, Your Grace? Benjamin added. I think it would be better if we changed your teacher. I'll make arrangements for your wound to be treated as soon as the doctor returns. And the next time something like this happens, I want you to tell me right away. Savina think. The words, next time, sound rather strange since they're coming from him. It sounds like he's saying he would be willing to listen to me. He doesn't even believe me. Besides, the people who are making me suffocate the most are all of you. It was the previous Duke who hired Madame Clarissa. The fact that he hired the woman who almost married my father could have been done on purpose. Would the Duke have understood me if I had complained about the previous Duke instead of Madame Clarissa? No, I shouldn't get my hopes up. Thank you for your consideration, Your Grace, he added. Things will be very busy at the manor until the prince arrives, so I'm sorry, but it'll take some time to find you a new teacher. Fabian will also be returning soon, she surprised. Fabian is coming back? Thinking raised in her mind. Wait, isn't that the vase that my father received as a gift? It's very valuable, which is why he told you to put the item in a place where it can be seen. You broke it. I knew that pretending to be a noble lady would be too much for you. Sanina think. He was the one who purposely tripped me. The eldest son of Duke Charlot, Fabian Charlot. Fabian is my cousin and Duke Charlot's son. Fabian, like the rest of the people in this place, displayed hostility whenever he saw me. He would frame me for something I didn't do or drive a wedge between me and everyone, as if he wanted people to hate me even more. But after Fabian returned to the academy, I only had to be on guard whenever he came home. Savina added, both the prince and Fabian will be here. Benjamin say, Fabian is taking a leave of absence from the academy during the prince's stay. He'll have to delay his graduation a little, since it will be impolite not to greet the prince when he comes to visit. She think, it is impolite. Then is it polite of me to hide and not greet him? That's ridiculous, he say. We'll also have a family banquet soon. I'm going to invite Lady Annabelle, so you must also attend because we have to introduce our family to her, she replied. Then I'll keep quiet so Lady Annabelle won't feel uncomfortable, he ordered. You may leave now, she think. Of course, he wasn't mad at Madame Clarissa. He didn't even ask if I was okay. Forget it. It's not like we're a real family, so I shouldn't let this upset me. Right now, the most important thing is to avoid the prince and survive. Did you hear what happened? Madame Clarissa got fired because she let Lady Savina get injured. There is conversation between maids. What? Really? I heard that Madame Clarissa's father even came to ask for forgiveness, but His Grace was adamant about his decision. What should we do? We always looked the other way when Lady Savina was being harassed, Melissa replied. What if we get kicked out like Madame Clarissa? I just did what I was told, Madame Vanessa said. What are you doing here instead of working? Savina think. I no longer have to take Madame Clarissa's class. and I will never have to see her again. I was tormented for so long that I was a bit surprised when this issue was solved instantly. But it was the best way to get rid of Madame Clarissa. It was worth getting hit by her. She must have taken my words as a warning. Well, I can understand her fear. She never bullied me, but she always turned a blind eye when she saw me being harassed. But I didn't think she'd get the Duke while I was arguing with Madame Clarissa. That won't change anything though, Savina said. Melissa, don't be afraid. What you did wasn't all that bad, and I don't have the authority to punish you anyway, Maze say. I'm sorry, my lady. I felt guilty about not doing anything all this time. At one point, I couldn't stand it anymore and reported everything to Madame Vanessa. She told me to pretend I didn't see anything, Savina think. Madame Vanessa, the head maid, Melissa reply. I apologize, my lady, I had no idea things would turn out like this. I promise not to ignore anything that could harm you from now on, Savina say. You won't ignore anything that could harm me? Then can I trust you to be on my side from this day onward? Melissa say. I'm sorry, Savina reply. Can you prioritize my orders over those of the current and former dukes? Maid say. Back home, I have a younger sister who is the same age as you, my lady. I know it might sound rude to you, but every time you were mistreated, it felt like my little sister was being mistreated. So I will do as you say, she say. Do you know which room the prince will be staying in on the second floor? In the novel, Savina was merely an extra who only appeared in flashback scenes. I know how she died, but I don't know why she did. The previous duke may have ordered me not to appear before the prince, but that might not be easy. No matter how big this house is, 6 months is still a pretty long time, Savina added. So, this is where the prince will be staying. I need to figure out how much of the outside is visible from the windows in this room. That way, I'll be able to avoid him more effectively. The annex where I'll be staying isn't visible from this room. I think it will be safer than I thought, Maid said. What's wrong? Didn't you just hear a strange sound coming from this room? Savina's shocked. There is nothing in here. Are you sure you weren't mistaken? That's strange. I swear I heard something. Maybe it was just the wind. Let's go back now. I can't let anyone find out that I was here. I should leave once the footsteps get farther away. Anyway, if the annex is not visible from the prince's room, I might be able to get through the next 6 months without bumping into him, Savina thought. Since I know what will happen, I have a better chance of surviving than the real Savina. Hopefully, I'll be able to avoid the terrifying psychopath that even his mother, the Empress, was afraid of when he was a child. If I remember correctly, the male lead is someone who will probably do something horrible even if he doesn't kill Savina. I don't like the idea of dragging more victims into this mess, but if the Empress banishes him to the battlefield, I might be able to live. At second glance, the furniture is old, but it looks very elegant. It looks like the servants kept this place in perfect condition even though no one's using it. I wonder whose room this used to be. Could it have been my dad's room? That's not possible. There's no way they kept Dad's old room the way it. She added there is a tiny space in the desk, a leather notebook. What could it be to have been hidden like this? A voice raised. Hurry up and get moving! Move the things to that side, Savina think. I should get out of here. Why is everyone so busy? There's still some time left until Lady Annabelle arrives. It's been a while. I'm not exactly excited to see you, though, Savina say. So everyone was busy preparing for Fabian's return. I had no idea he would be back so soon. You must be exhausted after a long journey. You should go get some rest, he added. That's not how you say hello to a cousin you haven't seen in a long time. I know you live here because you wanted to be treated like a lady of House Charlots. Then you should get on my good side since I'll be the next duke, she said. What nonsense. My M is the reason why I'm here. But that stupid Fabian wouldn't get ID. And who knows whether I'll still be alive once Fabian becomes duke? I'll probably be gone before then, so why should I do that? I'm saying there's nothing for me to gain from trying to get on your good side, he replied. You're finally showing your true colors. You couldn't even say a single word to me before, she say. Believe whatever you want to believe. If I'm going to die anyway, there's no reason for me to writ with this, he say. You must not like the sound of that, even if you beg me not to. That sounds like a good idea. Could you please tell His Grace to send me to a boarding school? If I move to a rural area, I won't run into the prince. And when I become an independent adult, I won't have to depend on the Charlot family anymore. I might even become successful in life by using the things I know from the novel, she said. It's rare that you and I agree on something. He shouted, do you think I won't be able to do it just because you're saying such things? Kicking you out won't be a big deal, she say. So, what are you waiting for? If you don't have the courage to tell His Grace, then move. You are the idiot for making me keep saying the same thing, he replied. What did you do to injure your leg like this? It's unlike him to make such a fuss, she replied. It's not a big deal. Madame Clarissa hit my hand during tea etiquette class, and I spilled a cup of tea. Madame Clarissa dared to hurt the one she was supposed to serve? Character 2. Madame Clarissa didn't serve me. She served your father. And why are you getting upset when I'm the one who got hurt? You're acting like you're worried about me, he added. What? Worried about you? Don't be ridiculous. I was never upset. I was just concerned that you would stay here forever. The fact that you have a common mother is bad enough, but if you also get any scars on your body, we won't be able to marry you off to anyone. She think, can't marry me off to anyone? I knew it. I can't believe I thought he was actually worried about me for a second. I guess you'll probably keep saying things like that even after I die, he say. What are you talking about? Are you insane? Savina reply. Why don't you lower your voice? Your so-called crazy cousin is now going to get some rest in her room. Oh, and don't forget to tell His Grace to send me away. I don't mind being detained in a psychiatric hospital either. He's shocked. Is she mocking me right now? Stop right there. I can't believe I have to call these people family, Melissa asked. Did something happen with Lord Fabian, my lady? Savina say. This isn't the first time he's done something like this. Please bring me the tea once Fabian leaves. I should take a look at this thing. Do you think you will get away with ignoring me like this? Benjamin asked. What are you doing here? Fabian say. I was going to come see you as soon as I arrived. Benjamin added. I could hear your screams echo through the manor. Stop wasting your time here and follow me, maid say. I've never seen that notebook before, Savina added. I found it outside. I was reading it to find clues that would help me find its owner. Then did you find out who the owner is? Yes, I did. Stop lazing around and get moving. There isn't much time left. Have you finished preparing all of the ingredients for dinner? I looked around, noticing everyone had been in a frenzy all morning. Why are they preparing for dinner this soon? What's the big deal about Lady Annabelle's visit? I asked, confused. She think, well, it actually is a big deal, came the response. Duke Charlot's wife died due to an epidemic 10 years ago, and the former duke didn't like the fact that his son had been single for so long. As a result, House Charlot is now preparing to welcome the duke's new wife, Annabelle, per the arrangement of the previous duke. It's time for you to get dressed, my lady, Melissa said, interrupting my thoughts. Savina sighed. I didn't sleep well at all. I just tossed and turned. I thought I could sleep, and since I don't have to take Madame Clarissa's classes anymore. As I adjusted the bandage on my wound, I noticed it had come undone again. Melissa, did Dr. Eugenia come by while I was sleeping? No, she hasn't come yet, Melissa answered. She frowned. Then how come? Don't worry, my lady. I'll leave you to get ready on your own. You can call me if you need anything. Are you sure? I can manage with the dress. I'll be fine, Savina reassured her. Melissa was hesitant but nodded. Of course. I'll be nearby if you need me. Once alone, I took a moment to assess my wound. Has it healed? Savina thought, wondering if something unusual had happened. She had heard about divine power and mana before, how priests used divine power and mages used mana. But what I was experiencing felt different. Healing power was something that priests often had, and mages with such abilities were rare. Was this my power manifesting? Could it be that my healing ability was emerging now? Savina tried to focus on it, remembering that special abilities usually appeared around the age of 10. However, if it didn't, people often used a mana stone or a competent mage to help unlock the power. I wondered if that could explain what was happening to me. His Grace has asked you to come downstairs, Melissa called from the doorway. I'll be down in a minute. For now, I should wait for Dr. Eugenia to return, Savina replied, deep in thought. Dr. Eugenia, a mage with healing power, might know what was happening to me. And if this power was real, maybe I could even cure my mom's illness. Then I could finally escape this place. Savina was interrupted by a voice. You have such terrible taste in clothes, it said, causing me to turn around. Ignoring me like that won't work. I know what you're really up to, she sighed. You think I want to go to a rural area and be treated like a proper noble lady, don't you? But just because everyone here knows who I am doesn't mean that's my plan. You're just assuming I want to be a leader among country girls. Think whatever you want, the voice shot back. But do you think there are no people in the countryside? The rumors will spread the moment you arrive at school, and you'll spend the entire semester being excluded before eventually returning, he say. I was just talking to my cute cousin since I haven't seen her in a while, she muttered, but the conversation quickly shifted again. Benjamin say, stop saying such nonsense and come. Lady Annabelle will be here soon. She followed, entering the room where Lady Annabelle had already arrived. My name is Annabelle Rose Maria. I'm honored that you invited me to Eberton House. It's a pleasure to have you here today, Lady Annabelle, he responded. It's been quite some time, he replied with a smile. Savina think. I overheard someone mention that Lady Annabelle's husband had died a few years ago. But looking at her and the Duke, you wouldn't be able to tell this was their second marriage. I heard Lady Annabelle is well known in high society for her stunning beauty, and the members of the Charlots family are known for their attractive features as well, someone remarked. It's an incredible honor to be recognized by such a beautiful lady as yourself, Fabian said to Annabelle. Shall we go inside? Annabelle asked. It's an honor to meet. Shall we go inside? Annabelle Rose Maria said. I didn't eat lunch because I was nervous, so I'm starving now. Savina feel. Did she just ignore me completely? I heard that Mom and Dad got married in a small church after they left Eberton House. But the Charlots family refused to accept my mom, a maid, as my dad's official wife. Because of this, the Charlots, and even outsiders like Madame Clarissa, all look at me with eyes that seem to say, she's Lam's illegitimate child, so it's not surprising that Lady Annabelle is ignoring me. At least the food is delicious, though. Apart from the food, nothing about this dinner is going well. I couldn't believe it when someone said, he actually did that, and another replied, he did. He was so mean to me. The previous Duke Charlot had forced this remarriage on the current Duke, so only the former Duke and Lady Annabelle seemed excited and were chatting eagerly. Meanwhile, Duke Charlot seemed uninterested in all of it. I couldn't believe he needed to get married again, especially in a time when people still thought men couldn't stay single after being widowed. It felt like such an old-fashioned way of thinking. Trying to shift my thoughts, someone asked. I know you don't have any classes these days, so how are you keeping up with your studies? I answered. I started reading various books again to prepare for the next classes. Why is he speaking to me right now? She wondered silently. He asked what I had read so far, and I shared that I had been reading the dynamics of geography and economics, and doing a light analysis of an article detailing changes to the tax law. But once I leave this house, I will need to start earning money right away, Annabella commented. Lady Savina appears to be very bright based on what I've heard. Doesn't she have a tutor to help her with her studies? He replied. We fired her teacher a few days ago due to some personal issues, but we will be looking for a new one soon, Annabella continued. I can't see why that would be necessary. Given Lady Savina's age, wouldn't it be better for her to attend school and spend time with friends her own age? Nowadays, you can easily find high-quality boarding schools. There's no reason for you to continue raising your niece, Your Grace. I couldn't help but agree, Savina think. She would love to go to a boarding school, to be honest. And then it hit me. There was one more person who wanted to kick me out of this place. Shouldn't he be saying something to help Lady Annabelle? Was he slow to understand, or just being rebellious? Then a voice broke through my thoughts. Annabella said, Your Grace, I know you are a good person, but Lord Liam was quite inconsiderate. He was uninterested in any of his responsibilities as an heir, and he made the wrong choice due to a mistake. Someone added, What happened is so heartbreaking. Don't you think it's terrible when pressure leads you to make a decision that destroys your life? I only said that because I felt bad about what had happened. I didn't mean anything else by it, was the hurried response. She defended Lord Liam, saying, Well, Lord Liam did nothing wrong. All he ever did was trust the wrong person. She continued. The fact that a lowly commoner shamelessly seduced her master was disturbing in and of itself. But if it's the child of a vulgar woman like that, who knows? She may not even be Lord Liam's daughter, Lady Annabel interjected. Yes, Your Grace, I believe you've had enough to eat, so why don't you head back now? Came the abrupt order. What do you mean? Benjamin asked, confused. I want you to get up and leave this table, Annabella replied. What do you mean by that? How could you be so cruel to me over such an insignificant matter? The protest was loud, but Lady Annabel wasn't backing down. In my opinion, she said calmly, the most important virtue in a marriage is knowing how to respect the other person. Who do you think made the decision to allow that child to live in this house? Annabella, think in that regard, I don't think you and I are a good match. Everyone was shocked by the confrontation. What is going on right now? I wondered. What wouldn't have bothered the Duke, I knew. But was he offended that an outsider dared to judge his family? And the maid you insulted? He continued. Is the woman my brother loved his entire life, regardless of her social status. I believe she is far more respectable than you, a vulgar person who enjoys gossiping about others. Benjamin added. Dinner is over, so you can go back to your rooms, the Duke finally said, signaling the end of the meal. As the guests began to leave, the Duke turned to me. Savina, does your leg still hurt? Savina, think. I winced, feeling the pain. Will the plans for Duke Charlot to remarry fall through because of me? I'm too scared to look at the face of the former Duke, I admitted, avoiding eye contact. The Duke, sensing my distress, said gently, I will take you to your room, Your Grace. Please put me down. I can walk on my own, Benjamin added. Then you should have done that earlier, Saniva added. I was just surprised because you suddenly raised your voice. I'm fine, so please let me down. Why is he suddenly doing this? What if the former Duke gets mad at me? And I'm not sure why the current Duke is suddenly acting this way, when he never pats my head or even holds me. She think, you shouldn't have done that to Lady Annabel. She's the one you are going to marry, he replied. I'm not required to wed her simply because we've had a few marriage-related conversations. I never wanted to marry her in the first place. I told House Maria that Fabian would succeed me as the next Duke, but they refused to accept it. If we had gone ahead with the marriage, we would have had a lot of problems later on. So it wasn't because of me. Duke Charlot had thought about breaking off the engagement from the start. Then, was this incident more like a performance to completely remove Lady Annabel? Maybe the former Duke knew about this beforehand as well, she added. I'm so glad that I wasn't the cause of the problem. I appreciate what you did earlier, Your Grace. I have always been curious. But why do you call me Your Grace? Savina replied. Because that's the proper way to address you. You can call me Uncle, and address your grandfather as grandfather, rather than Your Grace. There is no but about it, she say. But even if I call you Uncle, and address His Grace as grandfather, me like family, so what's the point of changing how I address you? And I will keep that in mind. How did things happen in the book? She narrated. Given their significance to the Empire, the members of the Charlot family appeared quite often in the novel. One such example was when Benjamin fought the male protagonist, Ricardo, who attempted to seize power. She think. The book didn't go into detail about the family's relationships, but given that there was nothing mentioned about a duchess, I guess he never got married again. This is a relief, though. If Benjamin doesn't get married, I won't have to deal with another family member who might harass me. Tonight's dinner wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Wouldn't a larger suitcase be better? It's fine. I only need to bring a few clothes with me to the annex, Melissa said. Is that all you're taking with you? I won't be able to go outside while the prince is staying here anyway. Aside from that, the only thing I want to bring with me is the notebook I found a few days ago. Fabian entered. Wasn't ruining your father's life enough? Why'd you have to ruin my father's marriage as well? She added. It seems you don't understand what will happen if that woman becomes your stepmother. Fabian say. What are you talking about? If His Grace and Lady Annabel get married and have a child, that half-sibling of yours may attempt to become the heir of House Charlot. You think I don't know that? She snapped. That's why the marriage arrangement was pushed back until now. Even if I get a sibling, I'll be an adult by the time they learn how to walk, but the one whose mother is still alive has the advantage. The voice persisted. Because His Grace is still young, he won't pass down his title until your sibling is fully grown. So why would House Maria pass up such an excellent opportunity? His Grace said that House Maria didn't agree with the idea of you becoming the next Duke Charlot. That's why His Grace called off the marriage. My father did that for me, she whispered, the words barely audible. He's so simple-minded. Let's go, Melissa, Melissa replied. Yes, my lady. The 4th floor? Don't you think your room is a little too high up? My legs are hurting. I never asked you to follow me, she replied coldly. The attic on the 4th floor doesn't sound like such a bad place to be. There's no way the prince would come to the top floor of the annex. We're here, my lady. What is this? Why is the room so dirty? He say. My father gave you this room to stay in? Isn't this a storage room? She replied. Can't you see the bed over there? Savina. I can't believe I let my guard down because he was kind to me once yesterday. The servants wouldn't have dared to give me this room if it wasn't on the Duke's orders. What's with the state of this place? Melissa added. And Madame Vanessa told me that Lady Savina would be staying here. Vanessa? Bring her to me. Did you wish to see me, my lord? I was about to come show Lady Savina around her new room. Savina think. She's here to show me around this attic? She's not even looking at me right now, Maid added. At one point, I couldn't take it anymore and reported everything to Madame Vanessa, but she told me to pretend I didn't see anything. She think, if there's one thing I've learned since moving into this house, it's that any situation involving this woman never ends well for me. Fabian say, just look at this room. What does it make you think of? Vanessa say, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, my lord. He shouted, what comes to your mind when you look at this room? Does it look like a place where a lady of House Charlot would stay? She said. I only did what the former Duke Charlot told me to do, Savina replied. Forget it. Fabian asked. About what? Savina shouted. I'm just going to stay here. You can both go now. We will give you some privacy to speak, Melissa say. Did the former Duke really choose this room for Lady Savina? She replied. He told me to prepare a room that wouldn't stand out, so I set up the perfect room for her. Savina think. A perfect room for a maid's daughter, Fabian said. Are you really going to stay here? Stop being so pig-headed. I understand that you don't like me, but now isn't the time to be stubborn, Savina added. What has gotten into you? To be honest, it's kind of funny that you are suddenly looking out for me by saying that this room isn't fit for a lady of House Charlot to stay in. Fabian say. Is that all you have to say to someone who is trying to help? Savina mockingly said. Do you want me to bow to you to show my appreciation then? If that's what you want, I can do it, Fabian replied. Stop being sarcastic. My patience has its limits, Savina challenging. So you think you are the one who's being patient? What exactly are you being patient about? Savina say. Don't you know why the head maid is being so rude to me? Do you really not know why? Savina quietly. I was moved to this old, small room in the annex. They're doing everything they can to keep me hidden, because a shameful, illegitimate child like me can't be seen in front of a noble prince. And it's because you, your father, and your grandfather, she added. You appear to be mistaken about something. Savina, coldly. But I despise you more than Vanessa and the other maids. Get out of here if you understood what I said. Go back to the academy, and stay out of my sight. Do you understand? Savina said. Please just leave me alone. Fabian calmly. Fine. I will leave you alone if that's what you want. Savina narrating. It was as if the room was trying to tell me where I truly belong. The disgrace of the Charlot family. A shameful child who had commoner blood. The outcome of the love that led to Liam's death. Savina thinking. What should I do? I can't take it anymore. Savina reflecting. At first, all I thought about was avoiding the prince and staying alive. But now my disappointment in the Charlot family has grown stronger than that. I don't want to live in this house anymore. Savina thinking. If I made Fabian mad, I thought he would tell me to get out of the house right away. So I don't know why he's suddenly showing me sympathy. Who's going to kick me out of this house if not Fabian? Should I ask the Duke to send me to a boarding school? No, that was the reason why he called off the marriage with Lady Anerley. I'm sure the Duke's pride won't let him do that. Savina thinking. Aside from the head of the family, who has the power to choose where I stay is? She think. I should go talk to the former Duke Charlot. But the problem is that in the 3 years I've been here, I've never once tried to discuss personal matters with him. I need somebody who can help me, someone who knows Simon Charlot very well. Yes, I think that journal could help me. I would like to use the kitchen, I said, hoping I could get the necessary supplies. Why do you wish to use the kitchen, my lady? the staff member asked. There's something I want to make. It won't take long, I replied. I can let you use the kitchen, but everyone needs to finish their work, so I can't let the maids help you. Unless there are willing volunteers. They added, glancing around. Maids say. It seemed like nobody wanted to offer their assistance. I will leave you to it, my lady, the staff member said, retreating. As Savina started gathering the ingredients, my thoughts wandered. Do you know why Madame Clarissa was kicked out? I asked, breaking the silence. I'm not sure why you're asking, she replied cautiously. It was because she made a mistake with her hands, Savina said, my voice colder. Even if you use your tongue instead of your hands to commit an offense, that doesn't make it any less wrong. I will keep that in mind, my lady. Maid said, a bit too quickly. Savina added, I don't think you did. I muttered under my breath as I turned away. We'll take our leave now, my lady. They stammered, eager to escape the conversation. I was busy preparing everything I needed for what I had planned. Did you bring everything we need? Savina asked, double-checking. Maid reply. Yes, I did. I brought everything you requested, my lady, they said, presenting the items. Savina think. I figured Vanessa wouldn't let me use the maid's help, Savina said, glancing at the items. Then, changing the subject, she added, by the way, I had no idea the former Duke had insomnia. Maid explained. The former Duke isn't the kind of person who would reveal that he's in pain, they replied thoughtfully. To be honest, I wasn't sure until I asked a maid who works for him. How did you figure it out, my lady? She asked curiously. Savina think. Someone told me, I said vaguely, then added with a sigh. It must be Liam Charlot. It's my dad's journal. After that, I read the journal repeatedly whenever I had time. All the while, I tried to picture my dad living in Eberton House when he was a teenager. So this is what Dad was like when he was young. I thought to myself, the pages revealing a side of him I hadn't imagined. The more I read his journal, the more it reminds me of how kind he was, I reflected. One part of the journal stood out to me. Father's insomnia appears to have gotten worse after Mother died. He's even started drinking, which is something he wouldn't normally do. Perhaps he's having trouble accepting the loss of his wife. When Mother was still alive, she used to make chamomile tea with honey in it, but that sweet smell is nowhere to be found in the house now. It struck me because it seemed like they had a more normal father-son relationship than I thought. Anyway, I wasn't expecting this. The former Duke looks like someone who doesn't have any weaknesses, but he has insomnia. Though I have the perfect opportunity now thanks to that. Why are you suddenly trying to speak with the former Duke? You've never done this before, my lady. Maid asked, their tone confused. Savina replied. Because I feel like I'm going to die if I don't do something, she said, almost desperately. I don't really want to prepare the food with sincerity, but I do want to get out of this place as soon as possible. I'm the desperate one here, so I guess I'll have to put in that much more effort, Maid added. You're trying so hard to be a good granddaughter. It's cruel of His Grace not to notice your efforts, isn't it? She commented, sympathetic. Should we just give His Grace unopened walnuts? She joked. We can't do that. We have to remember that he's old. Archie pleaded with a sigh. You said you were going to prepare tea, so why did you ask me to bring walnuts? She asked, puzzled. I've heard that walnuts can help with insomnia, she said. Should I bring more? I can get a large bag of walnuts. No, this is enough. I cut them off. Why are you doing this? He asked, still unsure. Savina replied. It can't be scarier than actual beating. I muttered, thinking to myself, trying to keep calm. I just need to do what I plan to do. I stepped forward, determined. I would like to speak with you about something. Could you spare some time for me to have a cup of tea with you? Grandfather added. Tea at this hour of the night, the Grand Duke said with surprise, but I noticed his curiosity. Is it the aroma of the tea? He asked, hoping it would be enough to soften him. Come on in, he finally said, inviting her in. Thank you, Your Grace, Savina replied, stepping inside. Now, with everything set, I was sure that if I asked him to send me off to a boarding school, he would be very happy to do so. Melissa, you can leave now, the former Duke said, his tone somewhat dismissive. But she insisted. Please try it. It's sweet. I added. This is exactly how your grandmother used to. But then I paused, realizing he wouldn't know that. No, never mind. You have no way of knowing that. What are these? They don't look like raw walnuts, he asked, inspecting the plate. You should try those as well, Your Grace. They're roasted walnuts with a layer of maple syrup on top, she replied, explained. I didn't make the dessert too sugary because the tea was already sweet. He tasted them, and to my surprise he said, This is quite delicious. Walnuts are said to be good for insomnia, so it would be a good snack for you, Your Grace, she added, hoping he'd appreciate the gesture. How did you know I had trouble sleeping? He asked, curious. You're always working very hard for the family. I was hoping you would at least get a good night's sleep, Savina answered gently. Are you saying you made this by yourself without the help of a cook? He asked, a bit incredulous. I asked Vanessa for help from the maids, but she said no. So I had to do it on my own, Savina replied, feeling a bit frustrated with the head maid's attitude. The head maid overstepped her boundaries. How dare a mere servant refuse her master's order? He said, his voice hardening. I'll speak with Vanessa and make sure she apologizes to you. Thank you, Your Grace, she said, genuinely appreciative of his support. For once, I was glad that he was authoritative. Vanessa had just ignored me like she always does, but she forgot one thing: as long as I'm a Charlot, even the former Duke would never let a servant get away with acting out of line. And it was actually Melissa who cooked, not me, she added under my breath. Then should I pour in the syrup? He asked, distracted from the conversation. You can probably stop roasting the walnuts now, Savina replied. But Vanessa, and all the other maids, left after work, so nobody knows the truth. What's the real reason you came to see me? He asked, his eyes narrowing. She hesitated before admitting. The thing is, I wanted to apologize to you. For what? He asked, clearly confused. Because my presence caused a problem during dinner with Lady Annabelle, Savina said quietly. That wasn't your fault, he replied quickly. I knew it. Everything had been prearranged. I was just a tool they used for the show, she admitted, feeling a wave of disappointment. I couldn't tell you at the time, but I don't think Lady Annabelle's idea was a bad one. Which idea is that? He asked, his interest piqued. The one about sending me to a boarding school, she said, feeling a knot in my stomach. She wasn't expecting him to ask me that question. Why do I want to go to a boarding school? Savina asked myself internally. It was because I despised this house and everyone in it, and I didn't want to be killed by Prince Ricardo. I wanted to have friends. But I couldn't say that aloud. You are weak, he said bluntly. You're still too young to move to some far countryside. But Fabian entered the academy when he was about my age, Savina pointed out, trying to make my case. He's the heir to House Charlot, and he's a boy. No one will be able to harm him regardless of where he goes. But it's not the same for you. He looked at me with a stern expression. Someone with a background like yours could become the perfect target for people. That is why I'm working hard to ensure that no one criticizes your behavior. He leaned in closer. When you come across someone who tries to bring you down, you must possess qualities superior to theirs. If someone tries to make a big deal out of your background, you should be strong enough to laugh at them and step on them. So, don't bring up the subject of leaving this place again, until you are ready. I'm telling you this for your own good. For my own good, she repeated, feeling a surge of frustration. The person who has belittled me more than anyone and has always made my background a problem is speaking as if he's my real grandfather now. Savina paused, gathering my thoughts. If I tell him about how Vanessa and the other maids treat me, he will gladly punish them. But that would be for House Charlot, not for me. She looked at him, my voice softening. Who else will acknowledge me, if my own family won't? It felt like everything was over now. I had no reason to sit here with him if I wasn't going to gain anything. I stood up, ready to leave. I should go back to my room now, she said quietly. He suddenly surprised me by asking, could you make tea and bring it to me like this every now and then? What's gotten into him? Savina wondered. Did the tea remind him of his late wife or something? If you visit the annex, I'll prepare tea for you, Your Grace, she said, her tone hesitant. To the room where you hid me, she added, her voice growing quieter. It'll be difficult for me to leave the annex because Prince Ricardo will arrive in 2 days, I said, almost to myself. Savina, think. My plan to get myself sent to a boarding school failed. I guess I won't be able to get out of this house. Should I just run away? Vanessa say. I apologize, my lady. I overstepped my bounds. What part of your behavior was out of bounds? Vanessa added. I apologize for not letting the maids assist you when you required their help, and for abusing my authority. Savina think. I can't believe this woman is bowing her head to me. Having an authority figure intervene in the matter really is effective. Is that it? You did other bad things to me too, Vanessa say. I have no words to express how sorry I am, Savina replied. Of course you don't. Okay, you can leave now if you are finished. Why isn't she leaving? Vanessa said. The thing is, the former duke suggested that my daughter become your playmate, my lady. If you agree, I will have my daughter move in so she can do just that, Savina think. The former duke suggested that. I want to have friends, because of what I said before? I can't believe he suggested Vanessa's daughter as a playmate for me. I didn't expect to get this hostage as a gift. A playmate for me. How old is your daughter again? She replied. She turned 12 this year, my lady. What's her name? Vanessa replied. Her name is Viviana. It doesn't seem like you want your daughter to be my playmate. That is not the case, my lady, is it? Well, I get it. It's understandable. As you're probably aware, I'm not a proper noble lady. I'm sure certain incidents might happen since I'm different from other noble ladies. Yes, for example, Savina added, I might hit my playmate, or go out with her only to come back home by myself. Vanessa said, I apologize, my lady. I beg you to have mercy, so please forgive me. My daughter has done nothing wrong. Savina think. Then, did I do something wrong for you and everyone else to have abused me in such a way? Vanessa say. If you could be kind enough to forgive me this one time, I will work hard to serve you from now on, Lady Savina. Savina think. It's disgusting. The same woman who looked down on me when I was helpless is now groveling at my feet. Vanessa say. Can you do me a favor then? I need you to find out the prince's schedule and give it to me. I'm sorry. I was told not to cross paths with the prince. If I run into him by accident, I think it'll make things hard for me. Even so, telling someone else His Highness's schedule is, Savina said, it's something my grandfather warned me about. I will have no choice to inform the grandfather. Vanessa requested I will do as you say, my lady. Savina say you made the right choice. Melissa entered. That was amazing, my lady, you spoke so well. Savina became sad and think I don't like the fact that I am still a kid. No one thinks I am intimidating. Being in the body of a child makes the mind weak as well. It was the first anniversary of my father's death after I moved into Eberton House. It was the day I felt like my mind had become as weak as a small child's. Mom, she whispered to myself. It could have possibly been because I feared being alone. Dad, she muttered under my breath, feeling the ache in my heart. Just then, someone came to speak. You can't, my lady. His Grace told me not to let anyone in. Came the voice of the servant. Please, Savina begged. I really need to see His Grace today. The servant hesitated before saying. All right then, please wait here for a minute, she added. I had tried to visit the former Duke in his room, hoping that we could commemorate my father's death together. I had hoped he would treat me like family, Grand Duke say, but the response I received was nothing like I had expected. What? You want me to open the door to who? You should have turned her down and sent her away. How thoughtless can you be? How do you expect me to see that girl's face on a day like this? The servant's words stung. She think I had been a fool to expect anything else. You knew what these people were like from the start. What were you expecting from them? They were right. I didn't have any family in this house. That night, Savina accepted that I would have to fend for myself, and strangely, she felt relieved. Unlike Savina, she added, who was a real child, I could at least pretend to be an adult with my fragmented memories. The next day, she was handed the prince's schedule. So, this is the prince's schedule, she read aloud. Most of his time will be spent in the training hall, where sword training takes place. Since I'll be eating in the annex, there's no chance of me running into him. Sunday morning service? It doesn't suit his character at all. She thought to herself. I'll be able to enter the main building while the prince is at the temple. Just then, Dr. Eugenia arrived. Dr. Eugenia has arrived, my lady, the servant announced. Tell her to come in, she replied. Dr. Eugenia entered, greeting me. It's been a while, Lady Savina. I heard you got a burn. Dr. Eugenia nodded. Savina replying. I accidentally spilled hot tea. She looked concerned. I heard your burned skin blistered. That must have hurt a lot. Allow me to remove the bandage and examine the wound. As she began to check, she looked confused. You don't have any burns. My lady, did you lie about your injury? She was taken aback. The wound was gone when I woke up in the morning, Dr. Eugenia explained. Are you trying to play a trick on me? She asked. I felt an urge to defend myself. If it was a lie you made up to get Madame Clarissa kicked out, that was a smart move, Dr. Eugenia said, surprisingly supportive. I'm fine with playing along if that's the story you want to tell everyone. Savina shook my head. His Grace expelled Madame Clarissa because he saw my wound. I wasn't lying when I said I woke up in the morning to find the wound had healed. I can show you if you want. Dr. Eugenia's eyes widened in disbelief. What do you think you are doing? She asked, surprised. How did this? She trailed off, speechless. She noticed her expression soften. Savina added, Dr. Eugenia, why did you just try to cover for me, even though you thought I was lying? Dr. Eugenia hesitated before responding. That's because, perhaps she sympathized with me. Or maybe she felt pity for me. Savina felt a pang of gratitude, realizing she had done more than just observe. Then, a voice from behind us interrupted. Lady said, I've been waiting for you, Dr. Eugenia. Miss Savina has wounds you need to heal. Dr. Eugenia nodded and proceeded with her duties. But I couldn't help but feel that there was more to her actions. Teaching a child who has no manners is incredibly challenging, she said as she worked. Dr. Eugenia witnessed firsthand how I was abused by Madame Clarissa, Savina added. It was because you didn't want to get in the way of me trying to save myself, right? She asked, unsure if I was speaking the truth. She gave a soft sigh. If that's the case, could you help me in some other way? She asked, feeling a surge of hope. What do you mean? Dr. Eugenia replied. I want you to keep my power a secret from everyone else, Savina said, my voice steady but with a trace of uncertainty. She looked at me incredulously. I'm sorry? You want to keep quiet about such a great ability? She nodded. Don't you think you should tell His Grace at least? She suggested. I shook my head. Savina said, I'm not going to keep this a secret forever. If the adults find out, they will immediately find me a new teacher. But I can't guarantee that they won't be like Madame Clarissa. I want to keep my power hidden until I'm strong enough to protect myself. Dr. Eugenia seemed to understand. All right, my lady, I'll keep this a secret until you are prepared. Thank you, Savina whispered, grateful for her understanding. Is it possible for me? I began, unsure of my own question. To heal others with this power? Dr. Eugenia smiled warmly. Of course it is. Healing is a selfless power. Being able to heal yourself is only the beginning of working for others. You'll eventually be able to heal people. However, you will need to study for it. Savina frowned. I need to study for it? Dr. Eugenia asked. It's close to a miracle, but it's not omnipotent or almighty, Savina explained. Then this ability is useless for the time being. She wondered how long it'll take me to be able to heal others by studying on my own. Savina mused. Dr. Eugenia looked at her with reassuring eyes. I'm sure you'll learn in no time, my lady. Since you're staying in the annex, you won't be found out. Starting now, I will tutor you twice a week for 2 hours. Savina was taken aback. She will tutor me? Savina repeated, unsure if I had heard correctly. Dr. Eugenia is a capable mage with healing power, and she had previously worked as a professor in an educational institution. So, I was sure she would do a fantastic job tutoring me. But then a thought crossed my mind. No, I can't afford to pay you for the lessons. Adults with sound minds don't request money from children. Dr. Eugenia replied gently. But you'll be teaching me. You need to be paid for that, Savina insisted. She smiled. Yes, but a child shouldn't have to pay for their own classes. Their parent or guardian should. Plus, I'll teach you during my work hours, so I'll actually get paid for the lessons. May I borrow your knife for a second, my lady? She asked. What are you doing? Savina questioned, surprised. Here, take a look, she said, showing me something on the blade. There are no cases of people healing themselves subconsciously, even if they possess healing powers, unless they believe their lives are in danger. To put it another way, It means that your body's healing power is so strong. She paused, then continued, that it cannot let even a minor injury remain on the body. My power is that strong? She asked in awe. So, there may come a day. She trailed off. When I might have to learn from you, my lady. Savina blinked, surprised. You can repay me then if you wish. She made that promise despite the uncertainty of my power, Savina think. I had no way of knowing whether my power was truly that great, or if she was simply trying to comfort me. But one thing was certain. For the first time in my life, someone treated me kindly without expecting anything in return. It made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. When are you going to heal that wound on your hand? Dr. Eugenia asked, noticing a cut on her palm. My lady, were you surprised when I suddenly hurt myself with a knife? She added, referring to her earlier demonstration. So was I. She confessed. Please don't hurt yourself from now on, even if you think it's necessary. Just because you can heal your wound quickly doesn't mean you don't feel pain, Dr. Eugenia warned. Moreover, if you're a healer mage, you should be able to heal others. I should be able to heal others. Savina murmured, realizing the weight of her words. She's right. That's why I'm trying to learn this. Ever since I moved into this house 3 years ago, I haven't heard anything about my mom getting better. I find that strange because her illness could have been cured quickly, thanks to House Charlots' influence and wealth. I don't know why, but maybe they never wanted to cure my mom to begin with. A sense of determination filled her, Savina added. Then I can't just sit around and wait for them to help her. I need to strengthen my power and heal my mom. Later, as we arrived at Eberton House, the Charlot family's residence, she marveled at the grandeur of the manor. I don't think we've arrived at the main building yet, Nina noted. The size of the manor matches its reputation, I commented. You must be cautious, Your Highness, he added. What should I be cautious of? You should be careful so that what happened in the Imperial Palace doesn't happen again. Are you referring to the time I attempted to murder Her Majesty? She asked, her voice filled with confusion. My mother can be so cold-hearted. Does she truly believe that I tried to kill her, my own mother? I murmured to myself, reflecting on the cruel accusations. Suddenly, he heard the voice of a servant. Your Majesty, they called out in concern. Are you all right, Your Majesty? They rushed to her side, and caught off guard by their sudden attention. She met their gaze, and something in me snapped. If His Highness's eyes were filled with murderous intent, she would have assumed he was insane. But the prince's eyes, they were devoid of emotion, empty. You shouldn't look at me like that, said coldly, her voice trembling slightly. Everyone else will find out that I'm imperfect. As we approached the entrance, a new voice greeted us. Welcome to Eberton House, said a man with authority. I'm Benjamin Charlot, the current head of the Charlot family. Although you'll only stay for a short while, I'm honored to have you here, Your Highness. She looked at him and asked, What am I to you? Say something. What exactly do I mean to you? Are you able to feel emotions? Have you ever laughed because you were genuinely happy? Then, with a softer voice, she added, Would you be able to feel sadness if someone close to you died? Her eyes glistened. Ricardo was not a normal person. Do you have any idea why I'm crying right now? Because Ricardo knew better than anyone that he was abnormal, he replied flatly. No, I don't. The Empress's question, he thought, was pointless. Just then, Fabian entered the room. Your Highness? Do you like the room you will be staying in? It's impressive, came the calm response. The room is so great that I'm looking forward to my time here. I'm happy to hear that, Your Highness, Fabian said, feeling a flicker of pride. He thought to himself, I'm glad I offered to give His Highness a tour of the house. Since he and I are roughly the same age, I'm sure we'll be able to become close fairly quickly, he offered politely. I would like to take you on a quick tour of the garden next, Your Highness. Earlier, yes, Your Highness, when I mentioned the young lady of House Charlot, I heard you have a niece. Isn't she here to greet me? My granddaughter is ill, the older man replied. So she's recuperating in the countryside, Your Highness. We also feel that it's a shame she missed this opportunity to greet you. Oh, she's recuperating, the prince muttered. Is her health really that bad? I'm just concerned that she went to the distant countryside for treatment, when she's so young. After a moment of hesitation, Fabian said, Oh, the truth is, she's not actually sick. What is the problem, then? I'm sure you are aware of this. But my cousin's mother has a lowly background. My father and grandfather are ashamed of the girl because of this, which is why she can't see you, Your Highness. No. I'm not the type of person who judges people based on their background, the prince replied. Fabian was surprised. He seems more open-minded about this matter than I expected. He remembered how Savina became enraged because the entire family tried to keep her hidden from Prince Ricardo. Based on how His Highness reacted, I think it should be fine. Your Highness, he added to himself, Father warned me not to let the prince near the annex, but doing it once wouldn't hurt. He then asked aloud, Would you like to take a look around the annex as well? A mischievous grin played on his lips. Savina, you can thank me later. Meanwhile, a maid entered the annex. My lady, Lord Fabian said he would like to see you in the back garden for a moment. Savina, without looking up, replied. Tell him I don't want to. I'm sorry, why should I go meet Fabian just because he wants to see me? Savina thought. Tell him to come see me in person if he needs me. Melissa nodded. Okay. I will relay your words to Lord Fabian, my lady. Savina's thoughts turned serious. Plus, today is the day the prince is coming. I must remain inside the annex no matter what. Fabian should work on currying favor with the prince instead of wasting his time by calling me out. But soon after, Fabian shouted. I asked to meet you in the back garden, so why didn't you show up? I thought we wrapped up our last conversation well enough last time. She said calmly. How was that a conversation? He snapped. You only said what you wanted to say, and you said that you would leave me alone. She shot back. I had no idea you had such thoughts. He muttered. I'm not surprised. Savina replied bitterly. You wouldn't know what it's like to be completely alone and not have anyone on your side. That's how you were able to sleep well at night despite harassing your helpless cousin all the time. I don't have time to argue with you right now, Fabian said, his voice tight. Come downstairs. We'll talk there. You should break the habit of not paying attention to what someone's saying. I said I didn't want to. You'll be moved when you find out why I wanted to see you in the back garden. I doubt that. I'm trying to make your wish come true. But if this is how you're gonna behave, if you keep refusing to follow me, you leave me no choice. What great idea could Fabian possibly come up with? She wondered. Suddenly, her eyes widened. Don't touch that. That's Dad's journal that I put on the desk. Put that back where it was before you make me mad. Give it back. It means a lot to me. Then you better catch me first, Fabian said with a smirk. I need to get that journal back, she cried. It's the only thing I have of my dad. And then, as she stared at him running off with the journal, realization struck her like lightning. There he is. Maybe the greatest obstacle in my life isn't Prince Ricardo. Fabian, I'll get you for this. I'm sure you're aware of this. The prince began coldly. But my cousin's mother has a lowly background. My father and grandfather are ashamed of the girl because of this, which is why she can't see you, Your Highness. Savina quickly composed herself and offered a deep bow. Greetings to the young son of the great sun. Your Highness, I didn't expect to see you near the annex and thus offended you with my actions. I hope you can find it in your kind heart to forgive me. The prince's tone remained firm. Give your name and affiliation. My name is Viviana. I'm Lady Savina's playmate, Your Highness. You may rise, he said, eyeing her carefully. So you are Lady Savina's playmate? Yes, I am, she replied politely. I serve Lady Savina by keeping her company. I did hear, the prince said thoughtfully, that a few years ago, Duke Charlots took in his late brother's daughter. Savina offered a measured nod. If you had arrived a bit sooner, you would have had the opportunity to meet her, Your Highness. Lady Savina will be disappointed that she was unable to see you. If you allow it, I'll take my leave now. The prince interrupted her with a pointed question. I heard that the young lady of House Charlots went to the countryside to recuperate because she's ill. So why are you still here when your master isn't? My mother is the head maid, so I can't leave these grounds, Your Highness, she answered quickly. Also, Lady Savina was feeling so ill that she couldn't even converse with me, so I stayed behind instead of following her. I see. The prince nodded slowly. Since Lady Savina is away, You can assist me instead of your master in the meantime. I beg your pardon? She asked, startled. I'm asking you to keep me company during my stay here. He clarified. Savina hesitated, inwardly panicking, but the prince continued smoothly. Don't worry. I'm not going to make you work for me without paying you. I will inform your master and make arrangements for you to work for me. There's no need for that, Your Highness, she said quickly, her voice composed. The former Duke Charlots didn't want me to meet the prince, but we have. In the worst-case scenario, he might make several maids keep an eye on me at the annex. If that happens, my classes with Professor Eugenia might be discovered, she then added with a smile. How could I possibly want to be compensated for the honor of serving you, Your Highness? Since Lady Savina is not here, I have nothing else to do at the manor. You can call on me whenever you like, Your Highness. You are extremely loyal, the prince commented, a hint of amusement in his voice. I need to be submissive for the time being so I don't get on his nerves, she thought. I'll run away if I ever notice him acting strangely. I don't want to take up too much of your time, the prince added. So come here around the time I finish my sword training. I'll let you go before dinner time. Yes, Your Highness. I will see you at the promised time then. Later, Fabian approached the prince. Have you spoken with her, Your Highness? Yes, I have, the prince replied. She seemed very capable of serving Lady Savina. Fabian blinked. Serve? Lady Savina? I'm talking about the girl who came after you, the prince said flatly. Then he looked at Fabian with mild irritation. Lord Fabian, why are you just standing there? I just remembered something I need to do at the annex, Fabian said quickly. Would you mind returning to the main building without me, Your Highness? Of course not. Then I shall see you later, Your Highness. As the prince watched Fabian leave, his gaze sharpened. If they were planning on deceiving someone, he muttered to himself, they should have at least gotten their stories straight first. I can't believe Duke Charlot's heir is even dumber than the lady who's said to be an illegitimate child, Savina said. I ended up encountering the prince. Am I still breathing? Then, with panic in her voice, she asked, What exactly did you tell His Highness? Follow me, Fabian replied coolly. Oh, you don't have to say thank you, he added with a smirk. I didn't do this just to hear you express your gratitude. Are you insane? She snapped. How could you do something like this without even talking to me about it? I went out of my way to help you get what you wanted, so what's your problem now? When have I ever? Could it be? Her thoughts spiraled. They're doing everything they can to keep me hidden, because a shameful, illegitimate child like me can't be seen in front of a noble prince. Did this moron misinterpret what I said then? Is that why he thinks I wanted to meet the prince? Since when did he care so much about me? He just does whatever he likes. I'm at a loss for words. She spoke carefully. I told the prince that I was the daughter of the head maid, so that's why His Highness brought up your playmate, Fabian murmured. He was referring to you, Savina nodded. His Highness asked me to be his playmate instead of Lady Savina's. We're supposed to meet at the annex around the time he finishes his sword training. So you should be there too. What? Why are you involving me in this? You're the one who lied, because you are an accomplice, she stated sharply. What are you talking about? Do you realize that your lie put me on the spot earlier? It's what your grandfather told me to do, she explained. He told me that if I ever ran into the prince, I should act like a maid working in this manner. I had no idea that grandfather gave such an order. Fabian muttered, stunned. You're the reason why I met the prince. So if you're feeling guilty, just do as I say. Her inner thoughts flared. He's always looked down on me for being a maid's daughter. Does he feel bad for me now or what? If you don't follow my instructions, she threatened, I will tell the former duke that you deliberately made me meet the prince in order to get me into trouble. You're afraid of being reprimanded by your grandfather, aren't you? I did it with good intentions, Fabian shouted. People won't believe your lies anyway. Just do what I say instead of stuttering like an idiot, she snapped. Hey, Savina, you should probably reconsider. You could get arrested for treason against the imperial family or something. He must be attempting to say the offense of deceiving the imperial family, she thought. He's such an idiot. Good afternoon, Your Highness, she greeted with a bow. I see Lord Fabian is also here today. the prince observed. She's acting so coy. Yes, he is. I didn't think Lord Fabian would be so eager to be at my side and support me. I can't stand him. It's my responsibility to ensure that you are satisfied with everything, Your Highness, Fabian said, forcing a polite tone. Despite his complaints, she thought, he eventually showed up. Since it's entirely Fabian's fault that I'm in danger of dying, I'd better use him as a shield if the prince attacks. He may be stupid, but he has learned the water magic of House Charlots, so he'll be able to defend himself. Since Lord Fabian is with us today, the prince suggested, should we compete to see who has better archery skills? I will prepare the bow and arrows, Your Highness, Savina said quickly. Even the psychopathic prince wouldn't shoot someone just 2 days after meeting them, would he? Did you say your name was Viviana? I'm sorry. Yes, Your Highness. All right, Vivian. Who will you be cheering for? Why is he suddenly asking such a childish question? She wondered. Is he testing my loyalty to him? I will naturally be rooting for you, Your Highness. Why is that? I'm sorry. There must be a reason why you chose me and not Lord Fabian. It's because... Why is he asking me that? To be honest, I would support anyone who opposes Fabian, even if it's Oliver. Why can't you answer me? You can be honest. It's because you are taller, more handsome, and your character is more wonderful than Lord Fabian's, Your Highness. The prince turned to Fabian. Lord Fabian, I think you need to be more careful about how you treat the servants. It's not that I treat them badly, Your Highness, Fabian argued. She's saying that because she's an ungrateful girl. You look like you are upset. Are you mad that I was chosen instead of you? I'm sorry. Oh, of course not, Your Highness. Since the young lady is rooting for me, I think he should at least win so that it doesn't hurt your pride. Oh, how unfortunate. None of my arrows hit the mark. Lord Fabian, you have good aim. You flatter me, Your Highness, Fabian said stiffly. It's clear that he did it on purpose, she thought. You supported me, but I lost miserably, the prince said, glancing at her. So you must be disappointed, she said. It was merely a practice match, Your Highness, he replied. But you risked being hated by Lord Fabian by rooting for me. I'd feel bad if I were to just end the match like this. Oh, why don't I catch you something that you can keep as a memento? That made me jump. I can't believe just watching him shoot a bird shook me this much, Prince said. I hope the bird didn't land in a place that's hard to reach, she said. I'll go fetch it, Your Highness, he added. No, I believe it's better for Lord Fabian to go get it. Fabian was caught off guard. Yes, I wouldn't feel comfortable about sending such a young girl off on her own. She's not that young. Mentally, she's probably closer to a 30-year-old woman. It's true that she's a bright child, but with her physique, she'll get worn out if she goes somewhere too far. Your Highness, you have no idea what that girl is capable of, Savina said. Your Highness, I'll go, Prince added. It seems you're incapable of showing a lady any consideration, Lord Fabian. The prince cut her off. It's not like that. It's because I'll go get it, she surprised. No. What should I do? I didn't expect to be left alone with the prince like this. I tried hard to avoid situations where I had to be alone with him. Should I tell him I'm going to go after Fabian? She replied. Yes. Is there anything you would like me to do? He asked. Let's take a break until Lord Fabian returns. Come over here and take a seat, she hesitant. I'm sorry? No, I wouldn't dare, he say. It's fine, so come sit. You're not thinking about defying my order, are you? She think. I felt uncomfortable. I bet I'd feel more at ease in front of the former Duke Charlots. I wished Melissa were here. I should have stopped her when she said she was leaving to prepare refreshments. Your Highness. That's my hat, he added. The sun is too bright, so let me borrow it, Savina think. I'm not comfortable with displaying my hair in front of the prince. All members of the Charlots family possess these two traits. Light-colored hair that shines dimly, and blue eyes. The prince had already seen my face, so there was no point in hiding it. But if he recognized these traits, he'd realize I'm part of the Charlots family. I really hoped he wouldn't notice anything. It was peaceful, he said to her. Your hat smells like pansy flowers, Savina replied. It must be the smell of the soap I used on my hair. He had a keen sense of smell. I recalled reading a scene in the book that described Ricardo noticing the female lead's scent. I'm bored, so tell me about yourself while we wait for Lord Fabian, the prince said. I don't have any extraordinary stories to share with you, Your Highness, Prince said. It's not up to the storyteller to determine whether or not the story is extraordinary, she think. What could I tell him when pretending to be Viviana was already difficult? This must be why keeping a lie going is so hard. How old are you? He asked. This one I do know. I'm 12 years old, he say. Then you're old enough to have gained plenty of life experience. Wasn't it ever difficult to be Lady Savina's playmate? Savina said. Not really. Lady Savina doesn't like me, so we didn't spend much time together. Why does she dislike you? Savina replied. I sighed. She has a strained relationship with my mother, the head maid, Prince asked. So, who are the people who get along with Lady Savina? She thought. What is he doing? I thought, getting the impression that his questions were trying to pry too deeply into Lady Savina. Or was I just being too sensitive? There's no one, she muttered. What do you mean? He said. Savina added. No one cares about Lady Savina in this house. So, of course, she doesn't get along with anyone. I was under the impression that she was someone everyone doted on. You are mistaken. Haven't you heard the rumors about her? They say that the Charlots family's illegitimate child is a pathetic girl who's mistreated by all, he said to her. You wouldn't have said she was doted on if you had seen how the previous Duke Charlot reprimanded Lady Savina. She looked down. Perhaps it was done out of love. He shook his head. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It would hurt if she heard that, he continued. But Lady Savina isn't the one who's listening to me right now. You should tell Lady Savina to look at things from a different point of view, and that there are tips one must learn to get by in life. She frowned. A family that only treats you well if you use tips is no family at all. I don't understand why he's interfering in my family's affairs, when he was the one who was expelled from the imperial palace due to a disagreement with his mother. You're not wrong, he said. Lord Fabian hasn't returned yet. She sighed, thinking it's best not to let Lord Fabian in here anymore. He added, You don't like your master's family very much, do you? Savina thought. If there's one thing I learned today, it's that Prince Ricardo is like a painting of a person that has been skillfully drawn. There's no sincerity in his smiles. She shook her head. It just feels like he's acting. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to live life without being able to genuinely smile or laugh, she added. Anyway, I'm glad that nothing bad happened today, she said. I've told Melissa that I don't want any refreshments, so now I can finally relax in my room. She's surprised. Where have you been, Your Grace? Is he here because he found out I met the prince? No, if that were the case, he would have looked mad. What brought you here, Your Grace? Grand Duke replied. You said you would make me tea if I came to see you, Savina think. Is that why he's here? Perhaps it was done out of love. You should tell Lady Savina to look at things from a different point of view, and that there are tips one must learn to get by in life. The last time the previous Duke Charlot looked at me, it wasn't with hatred but with longing. It was longing for my father, who was the previous Duke's good and obedient firstborn son. But so what? That doesn't make it any easier for me to assert what they've done to me so far. I still despise these people, she added. You showed up unexpectedly, Your Grace. My maid isn't here, so I think it'll take too long to make tea. But I can't make my feelings obvious. He'll probably chastise me for my poor hospitality, but that will be enough to make him leave, he say. Then let's forget about tea and talk instead. Did you make tea for me last time because you heard something from your father? She said. I knew it. It had to do with my father, not with me. So much for things being done out of love, he say. No, it wasn't. I shouldn't have asked. The truth is that when your grandmother was still alive, she used to make you chamomile tea with honey? You said that you didn't hear anything from your father, Savina said. I didn't. But he taught me how to make it, Grand Duke reply. What are you saying? Savina say. I read it in my father's journal, he asked. Where is it? Did you leave it back home or, she say. It was my father's memento. After his funeral, we burned his possessions and sent them to heave with him, so it's not here anymore. It's a lie, of course. I have no desire to share my father's memories with the Charlot family, he said. Do you remember anything from the journal? Anything written about me there? She added. No, aside from the tea recipe, there was nothing written about the Charlot family in the journal. And I'm glad that was the case. House Charlots would have been disgraced by that journal had someone else gotten their hands on it, Savina say. Why do you look so hurt right now? You were the one who told Dad that he was a disgrace to House Charlots. It's repulsive. If I've answered your question, you should probably go. It's almost dinner time, so you should return to the main building, she say. Yes, I should get going. He added, you've probably already heard that the fifth prince has arrived. Try to avoid going out because the prince visits the training hall every day for sword training. And if you happen to run into him, make sure to let me know, Savina replied. I will, Your Grace, Grand Duke said. I know it's a bit stifling in the annex, but just hold on a little longer. I will send you some things that you can use to entertain yourself, Fabian shouted. How could you just leave without saying anything? Grand Duke said. Fabian, mind your manners. What is that? Fiancé. I caught it so I could give it to Savina. You should come visit Savina often so she doesn't get bored, Fabian, she think. Does he think that Fabian and I are close? How indifferent can he be? Fabian asked. What's going on? What did you two talk about? Savina say. It wasn't anything important. Why would grandfather come here if it wasn't important? She say. What are you doing here? Did you come to pick a fight? I came here to give this to you. It's yours. I walked a long way to pick this up, and you just left without telling me, Savina added. You can't say anything to the prince, but you always get mad at me, he said to her. I'm glad you brought it up. Did you really mean what you said? You said that His Highness was more handsome than I was and had a better personality. Do you really think that? I agree with you on the personality part, but aren't we both equally handsome? I bet you were being submissive because of the prince's authority. Otherwise, Savina said, what kind of nonsense is he talking about? Anyway, what should I do with this? Should I keep the feathers at least because the prince gave it to me? He shouted. Hey, I'm a better archer than His Highness. He only caught this bird because it was injured and slow, she think. He is wrong. Take a good look at it. This bird isn't injured. She gave a warm welcome, and ours been keeping out of sight. Adjusting to life here more easily than expected. This bird is a messenger pigeon, Benjamin ordered Oliver. Send this to the Imperial Palace. I can't believe that they still use messenger pigeons in this day and age when various artifacts have been invented. No matter how much time passes, the Imperial family will continue to communicate in the same manner, Grand Duke say. It's because an ancient spell has been cast on the Imperial Palace. I once overheard the Duke complaining about the Imperial family's communication system. He said an ancient spell was cast on the Imperial Palace, making it impossible to use artifacts. So no matter how advanced civilization becomes, people in the Imperial Palace can only send letters or messenger pigeons, Savina think. That means this message is for someone in the Imperial Palace. Who's sending this message to whom? C must stand for Charlots, and R must stand for Prince Ricardo. It must be a message informing the Imperial family about how Prince Ricardo is doing. Who could be paying attention to the fifth prince, who's been eliminated from the race for the throne? Could it be Empress Florencia? Who kicked the prince out? I'm sure I don't have to go out of my way to tell the prince about this. I'm not interested in getting involved in something that has nothing to do with me. Oh, why don't I catch you something that you can keep as a memento? Was the prince already aware of it? Did he give me the pigeon knowing he was being watched, to test me? So he can kill me if I'm not someone he can count on. It's okay. That's why I asked Fabian to accompany him in order to prevent situations like that. One thing that concerns me is that in the novel, Ricardo kept his special ability hidden. I was letting my guard down because his special ability isn't revealed until he leaves for the battlefield. But what if he decides to use it to kill me, instead of a sword? She added. I need to look into the Imperial family's special ability right now. There has to be a solution. My time has finally come. At the demon's whisper, there was a flash of lightning, and a swarm of corpses burst from the ground. Everything that was planted on the contaminated land withered and died, plunging the country into chaos. That's when Lamarck Cesario, armed with the power of God, stepped forward to fight, and successfully sealed the evil in a place bereft of all light. God, pleased with this outcome, distributed his authority and mysterious power, laying the groundwork for a magic empire that would endure for over a millennium. This book doesn't help me at all, she explained. I understand that the Cesario family was given some sort of power by God. But there are no books that go into detail about that power. The original story only had a romance plot. The most important thing is romance. Good morning, my lady. I see you've already started reading, Savina think. Dr. Eugenia knows. You know a lot about the history of the empire, yes? Dr. Eugenia added. Of course I do. You were reading a book about history. But don't you already know the empire's history? Savina say. Well, His Highness has been staying here for quite some time. So I was curious about the imperial family's special ability and wanted to learn more about it. But there's no one I can ask in this manner. That must have been so frustrating for her. Don't worry. I will teach you from now on, Savina think. I knew Dr. Eugenia would feel sympathetic. But I didn't expect her to be this eager. I've heard that the imperial family is capable of handling space, Dr. Eugenia say. That's true. People might think it's just the ability to move people or things, but it's actually a power that has no limits. My lady, are you alright? You look unwell. Savina reply, I am fine. Melissa entered ANS say, my lady. Savina asked, what is going on, Melissa? Melissa said he is looking for the head maid daughter, which is you, right? Savina think, is he finished with his sword training already? Prince said to her, you are here? Savina replied, yes, your highness. What's going on? Why isn't Fabian here? Did the prince arrive earlier than usual to get rid of Fabian? She say. I apologize for not arriving before you did, your highness. He say, I didn't expect my training to be over so quickly either. She think. He's lying. What should I do? This is an unexpected situation. I would like to go on an outing today because the weather is so nice. An outing? I don't think my mother would allow that. Going on an outing with the prince alone? What if something goes wrong? How about going for a walk in the back garden? I have to do whatever it takes to avoid going anywhere else with him, Prince added. Now that I think about it, I think I've seen a hole in the wall around here before. It'd serve as the perfect secret exit, she replied. I'm sorry, what is he on about? How could there be a secret exit noticeable even to outsiders here at Eberton House? It's not possible. He was right, this can't be. I don't recall seeing anything like that a few days ago. How come no one knew about that massive hole? It's way too big to be a secret exit, he said to her. Nobody will find out if we use this, Savina added. Then they must be capable of sneaking up on someone and killing them. That's also possible, but there is no need for it, because all they have to do is put the sword in the place where the heart is, or they can just take the heart out of the person, he said. Should we get going now that the problem has been solved? She think. He made a hole in the wall without even lifting a finger. If I refuse him, I bet I'll be punctured just like that wall. I can't believe we actually came out like this, he explained. There are far too many people in this world who have no manners. They appear to have no qualms about peeping into other people's homes, she said. Anyone would be surprised to see a big hole like that, he said. Viviana, go and pay for this, she asked. Could it be? Are you purchasing more items? Is there a problem? Sure. How much is it? Savina thought. It must be easy for him to look around and pick out the things he wants to buy. He's really working me hard because he thinks I'm a servant. Commoners have no right to speak with an imperial prince like me. But despite my worries, this trip has been normal so far. I bet the prince won't cause any. As long as it keeps me alive, I have no problem with pretending to be his servant, Prince say. Viviana, let's go if you're done buying that. Oh, okay, she added. At this rate, I think I'm going to die from exhaustion before I'm killed. I don't think I can keep going. You're high, I mean. Can we stop for a minute, you foolish girl? I would have let you take a break had you told me sooner. Oh, that poor thing. Do I really need to say that out loud for him to notice? Should we throw away some of those bags if they are too heavy? She say. I'm sorry, why don't we just get a carriage to ride in? He said. We can't do that since this is a secret outing, Savina say. But these are the items you purchased. Why did he buy them if he's just gonna throw them away? This incident reminded me yet again. That Prince Ricardo really was a psychopath, she added. I believe we can take a short break there. What do you think, Your Highness, if that's what you want? He's a psychopath who can't empathize with other people's suffering and can feel very little to no emotions. I truly respect the Empress, who gave birth to this crazy prince and raised him. Although she gave up on him, I don't think I can put up with the prince for as long as she did. Ultimately, the female lead will help the prince with his emotions, but we have no idea where she is at the moment. What's the matter? Savina replied. I just thought you were very considerate, Your Highness. You're taking a break because of me, and don't mind sharing a table with me. I do mean that. I thought he was a ticking time bomb, but he's been quite generous to the servant Viviana today, didn't it, Ianconi? Not really. Savina think perhaps the prince's presence could be an opportunity for me. If I join his side and become an ally, your servants must find it very rewarding to serve such a great master as you, Your Highness, he said. I'm not sure. I doubt that's how they felt. Typically, the servants side with the adults rather than the children, she replied. I would like to tell you something, Your Highness. It's about the bird you shot last time, he say. Ah, yes. The messenger pigeon. What did the message it was carrying say? So he knew. It didn't really say much. It just said the Charlots family was welcoming you and that you were adjusting well. I'm not doing anything, so there was probably nothing to write about. Why didn't you ask first, Your Highness? Why did you bring up something that I didn't ask about? He say. You said there wasn't much to it, she said. I see now. The prince is putting me to the test with this question, not the messenger pigeon. I thought it was something I needed to tell you, because I'm on your side, Your Highness. I'm curious why you claim to be on my side. Here's the tea you ordered, she think. I have to give him a good response here. I can't afford to miss out on this opportunity. The thing is, I've wanted to leave Eberton House for a long time, he said. You wish to leave Eberton House? Savina said. Yes. Because of all the rules, I've always wanted to leave that place and go somewhere else. I had to give up since my mother wouldn't let me go outside, but I found the perfect opportunity when I met you, Your Highness. Melissa and Eugenia probably won't help me leave Eberton House. The prince will provide a good chance for me to run away, since I'm too young to do that on my own. I will have mastered healing power by the time the prince leaves. Please hide me in one of your bags when you leave this place. You want to leave, even though it's dangerous outside of Eberton House? Savina say. He's talking as if he's concerned. I'm already ready for it. I'll do whatever you want me. You'll do whatever I want you to do, as long as it doesn't involve hurting my body, he said. You're worried I'd make you do something dangerous? How rude, she think. Is that a yes? He's not giving me a straight answer. But regardless of how prepared I am, he doesn't seem sure how much help I'll be to him, he reply. And unfortunately, I already have enough people working for me. Did this attempt fail? She think. Unless a position becomes available. A position becoming available? This is a sign from the prince. He wants me to seize the opportunity myself. He probably isn't talking about the maids who work for the Charlots family. When he's referring to the potential vacant position, he's probably talking about his guard, Sir Reynold. According to what I've heard, Sir Reynold is the only person who accompanied the prince to Eberton House. I'm sure the prince finds him annoying because Sir Reynold came to keep an eye on him. I'm also sure it was Sir Reynold who was trying to send the messenger pigeon to the Empress. Are you talking about Sir Reynold? Can you chase him out of Eberton House? That's easy, he say. It's easy, Savina said. It won't take long. I'll take care of it, Your Highness. I'm sure the prince didn't expect anything from me when he said that. But there are many ways to get rid of an annoying hindrance, Prince reply. I'm looking forward to seeing the results, Savina say. I'm so tired from carrying all of the prince's shopping bags and boxes all day. I can't wait to get into my room and lie down, Melissa say. My lady! Did everything go well? Has Dr. Eugenia left? Melissa added. Yes, she has. But, my lady, right now, your room is… What is happening? Servant replied. These are gifts and a letter from His Grace, the previous Duke Charlot. We'll take our leave now, Melissa surprised. Wow. I can't believe how much the room changed in one day. My goodness. Look, my lady. I've never seen such an incredible dress before. Oh, should I send it back if you don't like the fact that your grandfather sent it? It's stunning though, Savina say. No, it's a nice dress, right? What did the letter say, my lady? It says I should attend the luncheon this weekend, Melissa said. Wow. Perhaps His Grace cares deeply for you, even if he doesn't show it, Savina said. He probably just invited me on a whim. You don't have to say nice things about him. Oh, that's not true, my lady. The thing is, one of the kitchen maids told me something about Madame Clarissa. She said Madame Clarissa looked like a wet dog as she was leaving Eberton House. Everyone saw her and wondered who did that to her. Some said she fell into a ditch, while others had different theories. Now that I think about it, perhaps the previous duke did it. Savina say, could it really have been him? Melissa reply, because the only ones with the power to do that in this house are him and the current duke. Savina added, there's no way the cold-hearted previous duke would have done that for me. Madame Clarissa did. After hearing that, there was much speculation among us. We wondered if someone had done it to her, or if she had simply fallen into a ditch or something. Savina say, now that I think about it, perhaps the previous duke used his ability, but there's no way the cold-hearted previous duke would have done that for me. Repack the gifts and place them in the next room. Oh, yes, my lady, she think. It doesn't matter who splashed Madame Clarissa with water, or who sent me these gifts. I doubt either of those things was really done for my sake. I think I can understand the prince's actions better than I could before. Your Highness, wait for me, please, he say. Were you still holding on to those things? I beg your pardon? Let's go, she added. The prince only bought the items to relieve his boredom. But the mountain of things he purchased, and the fancy gifts I received from the previous Duke Charlots, they're all meaningless, because none of those things are what either of us truly wants. Savina thought, I always feel like I can't breathe when I'm here. I have a feeling that the previous Duke will soon try to criticize something about me. Grand Duke asked, you're not wearing the dress I gave you. I'm sorry, there was a press in the pile of presents. But was that for the luncheon? That can't be. In the past, 3 years ago, a dress like this must be worn by a lady of House Charlots. I've heard it's an expensive dress. I'm not used to wearing clothes worn by aristocrats, he said. What exactly are you wearing? You can't walk around in such a gaudy gown. I'm shocked by how little class you possess, she think. After that, I received criticism no matter what dress I wore. And the more I insisted on wearing simpler dresses to avoid criticism, the colder the servant's attitude toward me became. Melissa say, my lady, how about going to the luncheon wearing the dress you got as a gift? Savina reply, no, it's fine. Given his age, I'm sure he won't like how flashy it is. Just bring me the dress I usually wear, please, she thought. I don't understand why he's suddenly suggesting I dress up. It's ridiculous. Grand Duke say, I give you more than enough money for clothing, but I always see you in the same clothes. Savina imagination raised. Come to think of it, he also said bad things about my clothes last time. I'm sure it's just me he dislikes, not the clothes themselves. I put that somewhere else because I was afraid of dirtying it during the meal, he added. Then you can buy a new one. You want me to act like a maid's daughter, but you expect me to be wasteful by throwing away a dress only worn once? Never mind. I'll just go along with him. The dress is just too pretty. I would like to save it for special occasions. Benjamin asked, how are you these days? The annex is a quiet place, so there isn't much I need to report to you, Your Grace, he added. I just wanted to know how you were doing there, she said. What is happening? I eat breakfast and read books to review what I've learned. I sometimes take a walk in the back garden. I might look pathetic for saying such things. They'll probably chastise me for wasting time playing instead of studying at Lavna, Savina said. I'm sorry, he asked. What are you apologizing for? She replied. I should be studying more diligently, but I've been wasting time doing other things. I didn't ask that to interrogate you, he told. I was just wondering how you were adjusting to a new environment. She think, are they feeling sorry for me? Well, I did get badly hurt because of Madame Clarissa not long ago, and I was basically banished to the annex. So, they're probably feeling guilty about that, she added. I'm sure the gifts were sent to me out of pity, Benjamin said. I actually wanted to ask your thoughts on your future classes. Because you've made a lot of progress in your studies, I believe you should take a break from your lessons for the time being. If that's what you want, of course, Savina think. I forgot that I was supposed to get a new teacher. It would be too much for me to have a teacher since I meet with the prince on a regular basis. Dr. Eugenia's class about healing is already overwhelming, even though she's only teaching me theories so far. There is also too much homework. I don't know what these are, but Dr. Eugenia said you should finish them before your next class, Savina said. If you will allow it, I would like to take a break for now. I think I would also stand out too much if I had a teacher while His Highness is here, Fabian say. When is Prince Ricardo leaving? Grand Duke added. What an impolite question, Fabian. You didn't say such rude things in front of the prince, did you? Fabian say. I didn't. I'm only asking because it's just us here today. Even if he's not present, you must be cautious about what you say. Please try to be as mature as Savina, she thought. Fabian getting in trouble is making the previous Duke say nice things about me. Maybe I should thank him. I'm finished with dinner, so please excuse me, Grand Duke added. If you insist, she think. He looks like he has something to say to me. Should I go talk to him now that dinner is over? May I also be excused? I have something to say to Fabian as well. Damn it, why isn't anybody noticing? The prince is fooling everyone. He's such a cunning fox. Sudden knock or creak. He shouted, "What do you want?" "Why are you in my room?" she added. "You've been bad-mouthing Prince Ricardo, haven't you?" "What? No, I haven't. I believe we have a lot to talk about," he asked. "Talk? About what?" Savina say. "What are your thoughts on His Highness?" Has Savina noticed it as well? I knew I wasn't imagining things. I was right. What is he smiling about? He reply. I'm glad you brought it up. What's with that, Prince? What do you mean? Fabian say. I thought you noticed it too. Haven't you thought that he's strange when you're with him? Test him? What happened? He said. Well, it's so frustrating. I can't say anything because there's no evidence. And you wouldn't understand even if I told you. He acts nice and friendly while subtly irritating me. There's something suspicious about him. She think. There's something suspicious about him. But Prince isn't just suspicious. He's a sinister person who will destroy House Charlots. He shouted. Believe me when I say that you'll suffer if you ever get involved with someone like the Prince. Savina reply. Was that what you wanted to tell me? Fabian say. Yes. You can leave now if you got what I said. I'm sorry, but that's not what I wanted to talk about, he said to her. What? Then you should have brought it up right away instead of waiting. Do you think you could forge a letter with the same handwriting as this one? He say. What are you talking about? Savina added. I heard you got the highest grades in the academy last semester, Fabian say. I know you forged your report card. Be quiet. How do you know that? Does Dad know? What about grandfather? Does Dad know? What about grandfather? She say. They're not aware of it yet. I'm the only one who knows about it. How? How in the world did you find out? Savina replied. I just guessed. What? There's no way an idiot like you could get the highest grades in the academy, especially one filled with geniuses. I was skeptical, but it turns out it's true. You sure are bold. How could you possibly lie about something like that? He say. You don't even know the full story, so don't criticize me. Every time I left for the academy, they told me to study hard, and that they expected good grades from me. The stress was unbearable. You could never imagine what it's like to be under this much pressure. Savina think. That has nothing to do with me. No one in this house pays attention to me. To me, it just looks like he's being a spoiled child. He has all of his family's support and attention, but all he does is forge his report card. If I were him, I would never make up a fake grade like that, because I was grateful for everything I had. He added, Are you going to tell Dad and Grandfather about this? I don't care about your problems. I just want you to forge a letter with the same handwriting as this. If you do a good job, I won't tell the previous Duke or His Grace. We'll keep each other's secrets, Fabian said. Fine. But, if you get caught in the future, you can't say that I did it. Just make sure to do a good job on the forgery. I wish I could say that to him. He added, So what do I have to write? I want you to write. Think you could do that? Sudden shouting from outside. There he is! Capture that Imperial Knight! Reynolds shouted. Who are you people? What do you think you're doing? It's quite bold of you to spy on me in my own house, Reynolds replied. Your Grace. What exactly are you talking about? You're not going to pretend that you have no idea what this message is about, are you? Why do you have that? I heard the Imperial Knight was arrested, Melissa say. What? Sir Reynolds? What happened? Josephina told her that. I'm not sure, but I heard he's being questioned in the underground cell. Apparently, Lord Fabian caught a bird and discovered a secret message attached to it, Melissa say. A secret message? Does that mean Sir Reynolds is a spy for the Imperial family? I don't know. Who would have thought such a thing would happen to that knight? This must be why it matters who you work for, Josephina replied. Melissa, you should work toward gaining the favor of Lord Fabian, rather than just supporting Lady Savina. Oh, I'm late. Think about it. I have to go. See you later, Melissa think. I'm sure no one in the manor knows that. It was actually Lady Savina who discovered the hidden message, Your Grace, Benjamin added. So, what did she say? She said she would like to see you once you have finished questioning Sir Reynolds, he said. Then tell her I'll visit her tonight. I have no doubt that Lady Savina will achieve great things in the future, he added. It's exactly as you said. The messenger pigeon belonged to the imperial family, and the handwriting in the message was identical to Sir Reynolds. I think he was trying to covertly share private information about House Charlots using the messenger pigeon, she think. The message seems to have been successfully forged. I guess it's true what they say about everyone having at least one talent. He say, it's a masterpiece. That's for sure, but he claims he was only trying to inform the imperial family about how the prince was doing. Because of this, we haven't been able to make further progress with the investigation, she reply. I feel bad for Sir Reynolds, but they wouldn't subject an imperial knight to any torture during the interrogation. Now I just need to persuade him to return Sir Reynolds to the imperial palace. Do you know why the Empress planted a spy? Perhaps it was because she wanted House Charlots to be her obedient dog, he said. What? Savina explained. The first and second princes are fighting each other for the throne at the moment. The Empress would need House Charlots to make the second prince the crown prince. The late Empress's family is providing a lot of support for the first prince. But the same can't be said for Empress Florencia, the second prince's biological mother, he thought. Even though she's only 11 years old, she understands a political situation only adults are aware of, Savina told him. Your Grace, I know it's late, but I need to tell you something important. Fabian caught a bird and gave it to me as a gift a few days ago, but there was a suspicious message attached to its leg, he said. Even the Empress won't be able to control House Charlots with just one weakness. She say the second message was about how House Basilian keeps 2 sets of account books. House Charlots will also be held accountable, because they committed corruption in Charlot's name. It won't be good for House Charlots if this incident is made public, he think. The Empress could simply claim that the spying was purely Sir Reynolds' doing if things go south, she added, but whether or not we let it go is up to us. Because House Charlots is the one with the power. This child continues to amaze me. If I were you, I would turn a blind eye just this once, he said to her. But then I wouldn't be able to find out what else is going on beneath the surface. Even if it's superficial, you should still try to maintain a good relationship with the Empress. You should overlook her mistake. He asked. You think that I should simply ignore this incident, Savina say, for the time being at least. Not siding with the Empress when she needs us later on will be the best kind of vengeance. Don't you agree? He said. I didn't realize you had become such an excellent politician, she replied. You think too highly of me. No, you are better than Fabian. Even after he shot the bird, he wouldn't have realized what was happening, Savina thought. I don't think being told I'm better than Fabian is a compliment. I'm greatly indebted to you. Tell me if there's anything you wish. I'll be sure to repay you. This is Sir Reynolds' second message regarding tax evasion, he added. Is it the additional message you mentioned earlier? Since I already know what the message is about, I don't think I need to take it. You can burn it or tear it apart. Just get rid of it so no one else can see it. By the way, what do you think I should do with the prince? Savina say. Let's wait and see for the time being, as the prince doesn't seem to be involved with the secret message. If he behaves suspiciously in the future, you should find fault with him and return him to the imperial palace, he replied. I will do as you say. Savina think when the prince returns to the imperial palace, I'll be able to leave this place. Are you happy now, Mr. Psychotic Prince? You stupid boy. How could you be so foolish and immature? Do you realize how many people will be affected by your irresponsible actions? You've gone blind because of your infatuation with a woman. Have you even the slightest sense of responsibility? Boy added. Father, she's the person I love, Grand Duke replied. Just how long do you think that silly love will last? Why, you will come to regret this. I know you will. No, you're the one who's drowning in regret. Was it just a dream? He entered. Father, shall I return later if you're resting? Grand Duke said. It's fine. By the way, have you been in Savina's room? Yes, I have. It looked comfortable enough. Of all the rooms in the annex, Lady Savina said that she preferred the attic. Even though I knew she wanted it, I felt uneasy about letting her stay in such a worn-out room, Grand Duke say. I'm also aware that she asked for the shabbiest room. I'm sure she made such a request because she missed her old house. But it's about time she adjusts to her new life as a Charlot. She looks exactly like her father. It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Grace. My name is Savina, he asked. What do you think you're doing? I told you I wasn't going to see her. I'm sorry, but His Grace said she should at least introduce herself to you. I don't want to hear it. Have the head maid decide everything regarding that child instead of me? Thinking raised, I had no choice but to run away, because my son, who probably resented me, immediately came to mind when I saw my granddaughter. The nightmare of my son leaving worsened from that point on. In my dream, I pleaded with my son to not go as he was leaving, and begged him to forgive me on my knees, which I had never done to anyone. However, the result was always the same. Duke asked, "How is that girl adapting to her new home?" Vanessa replied, "Well, I'm not sure how to tell you this, but she's been behaving rather sensitively as a result of suddenly being thrown into a new environment. She loves valuables, and she's not satisfied with the dresses she was given, so her servants are having a hard time serving her." Is that right? I was still struggling to come to terms with the loss of my son, so hearing about Savina's childish behavior and vanity didn't please me. You can't walk around in such undignified attire. Do you even need me to tell you what kind of clothing you must wear? Savina said. I'm sorry. I will go get changed right away, Grand Duke thought. Oh, was that too harsh for a young child? We may not be close, but she's still my granddaughter, and we are a family. Never mind. She's a Charlot, so she needs to be disciplined to some extent. Since she was raised as a commoner, she needs someone to teach her these things. After all, Liam died because he left this family. I'm going to make her the perfect Charlot, he said. You are going to find Savina a teacher? Benjamin said. Yes, that's why I'm seeking an individual qualified for the position, he said. I heard that Madame Clarissa has been living a secluded life after losing her husband. What about hiring her as Savina's teacher? Benjamin added. But she was Liam's former fiancé. That's exactly why, Grand Duke said. She almost became a Charlot, which proves that she was a skilled woman. I'm sure she'll become a respectable teacher for Savina, and teaching will be a better option for Madame Clarissa than staying at home. I'm sure that it will be a positive turning point for them both. He think, I made the right decision. Since Madame Clarissa started teaching her, she seems to have made significant progress. I'm certain the mistake I made with Liam won't happen again. Grand Duke shocked. What? Say it again, he replied. Well, Madame Clarissa purposefully hurt Savina by causing her to burn herself. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as it really helps our channel grow. Thanks. The Grand Duke shouted. Where is Madame Clarissa right now? Your Grace? What brings you here? The Clarissa asked, startled. You're just in time. Please speak with coughing violently. Your Grace, what is the meaning of the quiet? The Duke roared. His eyes were fierce, his presence commanding. How dare you hurt my granddaughter? He shouted, voice trembling with fury. I didn't hire you so you could do horrible things to her. Madame Clarissa stood her ground. Isn't this exactly what you wanted? I thought you brought me all the way here because you hated her. You shouldn't have put me in her presence in the first place. If this wasn't what you were expecting, she snapped. What kind of nonsense are you on about? I just hoped you could stay here and find comfort and peace once again, he replied, his voice faltering. You're someone who almost became a member of the Charlot family at one point. Madame Clarissa laughed bitterly. Ha! You are as cruel now as you were back then. Where did it all go wrong? He murmured. Nothing has changed since the incident with Liam. I didn't want to fail again. I just don't understand why things turned out so much worse than they were back then. Father, Liam is dead, his son reminded him gently. Those left behind must continue to live their own lives. I agree with you. I'm not going to let the same thing happen to her. Benjamin replied. She has grown to be a strong and intelligent young lady. I could sense that she had closed herself off and kept her distance from us, as if to prove that we had been negligent. Despite such circumstances, she has become a strong and independent person. Unlike children her age, she knows how to deftly control the situation so it works in her favor. She might even be better than Liam, who you had high hopes for. Duke asked. Are you trying to tell me I was wrong? Son replied. I'm just saying I realized that trying to interfere half-heartedly could only lead to harm. There was a long pause. I'm tired, the Duke said. Merely trying to live each day takes so much energy these days. Help yourself, Viviana. This is, wow, totally unexpected, Prince said. I had it prepared for you. I heard the Empress will be summoning Sir Reynold to the Imperial Palace to chastise him. Good riddance, she thought. There's only one teacup. Well, he can't let anyone know that he met up with me. Help yourself. Thank you, Your Highness. The maids will think he is a dessert addict. It's embarrassing to be enjoying all these sweets on my own in front of you, Your Highness, he say. I don't like sweets, so don't worry about it, but it looks like you enjoy them a lot. I saw how you were staring at the desserts the last time we went out, Savina surprised. He noticed that. It's because I've never had an opportunity to try food like this before, he said. Is Lady Savina so greedy that she refuses to even share her snacks with her playmate? Lady Savina couldn't afford to enjoy something like this. She couldn't afford to eat desserts when she's a lady of House Charlots? That's absurd. Well, nobody treated me like a Charlot. Why would the chef care about what I like to eat? Savina added. I only saw these sorts of desserts on special occasions like Fabian's birthday. Even then, it was from afar, because the former Duke didn't like me appearing in public, and there was nothing more than a family dinner on my birthday. Not even a cake was served at the meal. The more I think about it, my past was nothing like the life of a noble lady. I'm not telling lies. It baffles me. What do you mean, Your Highness? He replied. I don't understand why they are mistreating Lady Savina like that, she say. Only His Grace or the former Duke would know why. By the way, are you pleased with the outcome of the task you assigned to me? Prince Ricardo said. It exceeded my expectations. As promised, I will help you leave Eberton House. Thank you, Your Highness. It worked. All I have to do now is part ways with the prince after leaving Eberton House. Then I'll be able to take a path different from the original Savina's. Viviana paused, a flicker of guilt in her eyes. He say, I just feel sorry for Sir Reynold, she think, but he's the one who gave the order. Well, I couldn't go against your order, Your Highness. You're more cold-hearted than you seem. Isn't that what you wanted? I also feel bad for what happened to Sir Reynold. The prince replied coolly. Yes, I'm the villain, he said with a small smile. As an innocent maid, you can continue to enjoy the desserts. This is delicious, Savina exclaimed, taking another bite. The cream is soft and goes well with the tea. You seem to be enjoying it, the prince remarked. Oops, I was too busy eating on my own, she said, suddenly realizing. I should have offered him something. This strawberry cake, she looked at the bright, plump berries. The strawberries are huge, and I'm sure they are delicious. Your Highness, you should try some as well, she thought to herself. If you think about it, even psychopaths would have a palate. Perhaps eating sweets will make him feel a little better. Nothing good can come from ruffling his feathers. The prince took a bite. This is quite sweet. I knew he would like it, she thought proudly. Your Highness, she said softly. I heard people in the south can't really eat cake because they're at war. If you consider that, this place is relatively nice. So please don't get in trouble and be sent away to the south. The prince tilted his head. They say it's not elegant to compare one's own happiness to others' misfortune. What do you think of that, Viviana? He's far too well educated for a psychopath, she thought, flustered. So I suggest you stop talking nonsense and eat, he said bluntly. I must say, she mused, they are such a strange family. What kind of lady from a duke's household can't even afford to eat things like this? It's ridiculous how they are obviously neglecting her, while hiding the girl as if they truly care for her. Their actions don't match their intentions. The prince's voice brought her out of her thoughts. If you just take me to the capital, I'll do whatever you want me to do. To make things easier to understand, you must be upfront about what you want. Yes, just like Lady Savina, who was sitting right in front of me. He stared at her thoughtfully. The fact that she's been busily thinking about how to please me is commendable, and quite reasonable, Prince thought. Maybe I should forgive her for that little lie about her status. And earlier, she even offered me the cake that she wanted to have for herself. She's faithful, he thought, and seeing her walk on eggshells reminded me of a nervous puppy trying to make its master happy. What is it? He asked, noticing the servant who had just entered. Good afternoon, Your Highness. The former Duke Charlot requested to meet with you. I suppose he's finally reached a decision about what to do with my guard. Lead the way. He's waiting for you inside. I'll take my leave now, Duke said. Thank you for coming, Your Highness. The former Duke greeted. Please take a seat. Is there anything that you find uncomfortable while staying here? Prince say. With all the care and attention your family is showing, what could be uncomfortable? What did you want to talk to me about today? Grand Duke reply. I wanted to speak with you privately about Sir Reynold. I can't express how grateful I am for the kindness you are showing to an expelled prince. I suppose that I will have to repay your kindness. I'll let House Charlots make the final decision regarding Sir Reynold, Grand Duke replied. Thank you for your understanding, Your Highness, Prince Say. I can't believe my mother did such a thing. We don't have anything else to discuss about the matter, but I'll try and create a rift between the Empress and the Charlots family for later days. We don't have anything else to discuss about the matter, but I'll try and create a rift between the Empress and the Charlots family for later days. How could she do such a terrible thing to the family that she left her own son to be cared by? It would be easier to make the Empress look bad than try and gain favor myself. Who would have imagined that the most compassionate lady in the Empire could be capable of such a thing, he think. I feel like I've managed to smile like the Empress, Grand Duke added. Her Majesty has stated that she was completely unaware of this. I'm sure she's very worried about you, Your Highness, Prince explained. Worried, what a nice sounding word. But I don't believe in such abstract things. Emotions have a tendency to shift without being noticed. And when they stab you in the back, you finally realize, oh, I was so foolish. I'm speaking from my own experience. Such a sweet and happy family. But Lady Gavina is nowhere to be found, Duke Say. It's because she moved into the house just recently, Prince added. It's amusing how he reacts when Lady Savina is brought up. Given that she's a lady of House Charlots, she must be beautiful. It's a shame I didn't get to meet her, a lady who's full of mysteries. You didn't hide her to prevent her from interacting with me, did you? Grand Duke Say. There are many qualities that my granddaughter lacks to be serving someone as noble as you, Your Highness. Are you sure that I'm the one you hold in higher regard? Well, after raising your granddaughter with such care, I guess you would want to give her the title of Empress at the very least. Your Highness, Prince said. I'm only joking. Now that the matter is resolved, I'll take my leave. As for my new guard, you can send someone decent from the Order of House Charlots. I would prefer someone who's uninterested in my personal life and has no work ethic. I will, Your Highness, he added. How could the kind Empress give birth to such filth? There must have been some other incident besides the prince stabbing the Empress. The Empress expelled the prince not because of his immorality, but to hide a secret. Sending a messenger pigeon to gather information was not the issue. The true betrayal was having us look after her son. I shouldn't have accepted him into my house, he think. I can see he thinks of his granddaughter very dearly, she say. Help me leave the house, please. But he's not even aware of what his beloved granddaughter is thinking. It's funny how he tries to control her in the name of love. I'm doing this for you. It's all meaningless in the end. The only spot in this place where I can breathe is, thinking raised. She must have arrived at my room by now. I should hurry back. You seem to be in a pleasant mood. Savina, clearly distressed, stands frozen with a stiff expression. Her eyes are shut tight, and her mouth is a nervous line. Savina says softly. Fabian, she turns to see, leaning forward angrily and calling loudly. Fabian Eugène de Charlots. Can you be quiet? Fabian, shocked and scared. He says, how are you so calm? She replies. What's the problem? First, we're not going to get caught. Second, I wouldn't have done it in the first place if I thought we were going to get caught. More than anything, you have nothing to worry about even if we are discovered, Fabian asked, looking at her hand. Why is that? He was shocked. Whether you worry or not, we're dead if we get caught anyway. It's all over. I have no idea why I trusted you. Hugh, what a coward. She starts to leave without paying attention to what he says. Then he added, Hey, where are you going? Savina says. Ugh, just stop talking. I'm going to tell on the person who forged the letter. Alright, Fabian said. You're lying. She thinks, her hands over her ears. Why isn't he buying it? He added. You're lying, aren't you? Why, you're not funny. Stop acting so tough, she thinks. Of course he fell for it, Fabian loudly said. Savina! Stop right there, she coldly replies. Just stay here if you are that scared. If something happens, I'll take care of it myself. He's very nervous and trembling with fear. Savina glances back at him, her face full of quiet assurance. Savina thinks, Fabian is a coward. All of the Charlots family are cowards. I guess it is in their nature to remain silent when it matters the most. Knocking, she gently knocks on the door, quietly thinking, is Ricardo not in his room yet? I thought the discussion about Sir Reynold would be over by now. When will he be back? I'm going to be seen by people if I stay here. Savina opens the door and steps inside. I'll just quickly leave a note and then go, she thinks. Oh. There's a pen and paper. Did he expect me to show up? If anyone sees me here, they might get the wrong idea. I will have to hurry up and leave. Just then, the sound of footsteps approaching the door echoes through the hallway. A soft creak follows, as if someone is about to open it from the other side. Savina freezes for a moment. Someone said, "Life at House Charlot must have been comfortable for you." Savina quickly crouches under the table, holding her breath. "Oh, I just managed to hide." Lady say, "You look a lot better than you did at the Imperial Palace." Savina thinks, "Who is she? I haven't heard this voice before," she added. "Is that the reason you stabbed me in the back?" "Florencia, the Empress," Prince Ricardo replies softly. "I'm not sure what you're talking about," Lady Florencia says. "I never asked Sir Reynold to spy on the Charlot family for me." "Then I suppose Sir Reynold was taking orders from other people as well." "Sir Reynold is a devoted Imperial knight. He would never have betrayed the Imperial family," he calmly says. "I guess you had the wrong idea about him, Mother." "Otherwise, how could a faithful Imperial knight betray the Empress?" Lady said. "Ricardo, it was you, wasn't it?" Prince replies. "I have no idea what you are saying, but no." Lady Florencia steps forward gracefully and says, "Can't you see what you have done? It's a good thing they believed me when I said I wasn't behind all of this. I nearly lost the support of my powerful allies. No, they might still be suspicious, even though they say they trust me. I was unable to give them any proof. I didn't tell them the truth just so I could protect you, even though I knew you did it. Shouldn't you be grateful for that a little bit, at least? I'm not expecting much from you. Just please be well behaved," she added more, "and stay out of trouble until the crown prince has been chosen." "You mean for Remedios, your favorite son?" Prince replies. "Don't you think you're only favoring him too much? I'm also eligible to be the emperor, after all." "No, you are not. You are already disqualified as a human being. How would you be able to rule over other people and their lives?" "The first prince, or anyone else in this world, could become the emperor, but not you." "It can't be you," the Empress, turning to leave, says coldly. "So please just lay low for the time being. You can go wherever you want once you are an adult. I will treat you like a stranger no matter what you do there." Savina, hidden beneath the table, was listening to everything. Her breath shallow, her body still. She didn't dare make a sound. The prince smiled softly and said, "It's ridiculous to hear that you tried to protect me. You should admit it now. You simply didn't want to confront the reality that the son you gave birth to is a psychopath." The prince stepped closer to the Empress and said, "You tried to kill me because you didn't like the fact that your son was imperfect. So you abandoned me at House Charlot when that failed. What's more, your husband doesn't even know the real reason his wife abandoned her son." Savina thinks. "The Empress attempted to kill Ricardo? I don't think I'm supposed to listen to all this," the Empress asked. "Why do you think I did that? Do you know why I had to give up on you?" For a brief moment, the Empress flinched under the prince's intense gaze. She says, "Why are you looking at me like that? Are you going to choke me again like you did before?" As he moved toward her, the Empress stepped back, startled. Fear flickered in her eyes for a brief moment. "All right, just keep running away like that," he added more. "Run away from your true feelings that are hidden behind a mask, and from where you stand right now." As he opened the door, he said, "Leave, before I change my mind. Choose to run." Lady Florencia was overwhelmed with fear and fled the scene without a second thought. Savina became nervous and think, how long do I have to hide in here? She heard the sounds of footsteps and her thinking raised. Is he coming this way? Oh no. Please don't come this way. Prince Highness come to close her and said politely, "Vivian," her voice trembling. "I didn't hear anything." He smiled and asked, "Why are you shaking? Are you afraid of me?" He leans in. "Your Highness?" She became shocked and thought in her mind, "What is he doing?" Prince Highness asked. "Did you hear everything?" He added, "Did you also hear that she tried to murder me first?" "Good. You just need to remember that. Vivian, you are absolutely on my side." At the same time, someone knocking at the door. "Your side?" Prince Highness relied. "Yes. You did an excellent job with the task I assigned to you. You have no reason to be afraid. I don't own many things, so I value what I do have." On the other hand, thinking raised. The child attempted to kill their mother, and what's more, the Empress tried to kill him first. Dr. Eugenia asked, "My lady, are you alright?" She added, "Yeah, I think I dozed off for a moment." Dr. Eugenia replied, "Did you finish your homework?" She say, "I did." She again asked about her. Will New York saying that My lady, are you sure you don't wish to continue your education at the university level? Savina became sad and told her that. My grandfather and uncle won't allow it, she said to her. You should go to university if you want to. Since you can't seem to concentrate today, how about we do something fun? She surprised. What's this? It's a mana detector. We're both aware of your abilities, but wouldn't seeing how high your stats are with your own eyes make you feel better? Thinking came to her mind. She's been caring about my feelings. Dr. Eugenia say. Come on, put your hand on it. Savina agreed and added. All right. A strange voice came from it. Dr. Eugenia shocked and added. Huh! This isn't possible. Is it broken? Shake, shake. Savina explained her thinking about it that. Is it because my mana is too powerful? Dr. Eugenia said. Then it would say excess. And it's not supposed to show 0 like this even if the stats are low. Savina became surprised and didn't think she would hear me. Dr. Eugenia added. Oh, I think I know what it is. I've read about it in a book before. Please give me a second. Oh, this is why her ability appeared after Madame Clarissa left. Haha, this is why she can heal other people. My lady. Close. This is divine power. Savina's surprised about her words. Divine power? Dr. Eugenia explained. Yes. Your power didn't manifest until now because mana was flowing. I'm trapped because of mana, Savina said to her that. But I don't believe in God, and I don't have any Mari on my body, Dr. Eugenia added. It has nothing to do with belief in God. It's God's decision. The mark will appear once you've received your baptismal name and have been properly registered. Divine power is much simpler than mana. God is all-powerful, so you can achieve anything by just praying genuinely. Savina thinking about her believed and became surprised. Just by prayer? And I don't have to train if I just acquire my baptismal name, Dr. Eugenia added. This means you can heal any disease as long as it's body-related, Savina replied. Body-related? She again said. It's unable to heal mental disorders with divine power. For example, attention deficit disorder. Does that mean I would not be able to fix Ricardo with my power? Savina thinking. I guess there's no treatment for Fabian then. He's shouting. What about me? Dr. Eugenia added. Anyway, are you going to tell them now? She asked. About what? About your power to His Grace and the previous Duke Charlots. I'm sure they would be delighted to hear it, Dr. Eugenia. I actually lied to you. I wanted to train this power because of my mom. She's sick with some unknown illness, but they won't let me visit her. Squeeze, so I'd like to keep it a secret from them for a little while longer. Just until I can see my mom, Dr. Eugenia said. All right, my lady. There will come a day when you will be able to tell the truth, Savina thinking. All I have to do now is come up with a plan to leave this house with Ricardo. But he hasn't left his room since that day, Dr. Eugenia said. Waiting for the prince again, he entered the room. Savina say. Fabian, he added, don't you have other things to do than follow around boys? I'm sorry to break it to you, but His Highness has been sick for a few days now. She shocked. What? It seems like he strained his muscles from training too hard, he say. That can't be right. She thinks why doesn't he see Dr. Eugenia for treatment? He asked. Don't you know that muscles shouldn't be handled with special abilities? The exercised muscles may shrink again because they are returning to their original state, she thought. Serious. I can't believe the next head of House Charlots is an idiot, she added. Then it's not a big deal, he said. No, it's not. I guess he's pretty weak if this is enough to make him. Where are you going? Savina said to her. I'm going to visit His Highness, Savina thinking raised. I hope no one saw me. I'm becoming used to sneaking into the main building. He wouldn't be asleep yet, Your Highness, Prince Highness replied. Leave me alone. I said I wanted to be alone, Lord Fabian, she say. Your Highness, it's Viviana, he asked. What do you want? She added. I heard you were sick, Prince Highness said. Come on in, Savina say. Excuse me. How do you feel? She think in her mind. He's really sick. He said I'm feeling awful, she thought. He's sweating a lot. Why is he by himself without someone to care for him? What are you doing here? Savina thinking. Is he having growing pains? Every now and then, people with special abilities go through growing pains. The pain is easily treated by magic, but the fact that Ricardo is suffering without telling anybody means he wants to hide that he possesses a special ability, just like me. So I'd like to keep it a secret from them for a little while longer, just until I can see my mom, Prince Highness added. So, Have you decided to threaten me after you rushed away that day? Forget it. I think I know what it is, she thought. What is up with him? He's talking differently than usual. Is it because he's sick? He asked. Do you know why the Empress acted that way toward me that day? She inquired. Pardon? He say. It's because everything she said is true. I wasn't born with the traits that humans should naturally have. I don't understand why father loves mother. I'm not sure why my mother cries when she looks at me, and I won't be able to cry for her either. I don't understand the concept of feelings. I'm broken, right here. The fact that she, who led a saintly life, gave birth to a human being like me, must have been her greatest failure in life, Savina replied. That can't be right. You are the nicest person I've ever met, Your Highness, he say. You act as if you know me well. But Vivian, you don't know me. I suppose I should at least tell you who you are cooperating with because you're on my side. Her thinking raised. His side? Does he honestly believe I'm on his side? How come? Do you need help with anything? Prince Highness said. Since you've offered help, I won't refuse. Then, I don't want to think about anything. So would you help me? What? Saniva think in her mind that he wants me to, him. If him now, I won't have to live my life in fear. Would you like me to help you die? He catched her hands and said to her that, yes. Do it. It's what Ricardo and the Empress want. And I won't have to worry about dying. Did you hear everything? Did you also hear that she tried to murder me first? Sina became shocked. What am I doing? He say. What's wrong? You don't think you can do it? She reply. It can't be easy to kill someone. Have you ever killed somebody, Your Highness? I tried and failed. She became surprised. Come to think of it, you also ran away from me that day. Do you think I'm strange too? Savina thought. He seemed to be hoping I would say no. I only lied to you in order to survive. Maybe it was karma that I was born with the destiny to be killed by you. I'm the reason you are unhappy in the first place. If I hadn't changed the storyline, you would be living the abundant life that you should have as a person right now. He questioned. Why? Both you and my mother are trying to kill me, yet looking at me that way. She think. I really didn't want to feel sympathy for him. It would have been better to just turn away from him and not realize he was hurting as much as I was. That's how it should have been. It's not strange. Some people lose a leg in an accident, or are born with only one eye. It's not their fault. He's desperate enough to believe this, and for that, I feel terrible for him. You are simply who you are, Your Highness, Prince Highness said to her. Vivian, you said you wanted to get away from here. Should we flee together, to a place where no one can find us? From that day on, the prince and I met every day to make plans for leaving this house. Fabian entered and asked, Hey! Why are you coming down from the second floor? She say. I just got something from my old room. I replied, trying to sound casual. He shouted, Are you sure you weren't with the prince? Savina replied, His Highness should be at the temple right now. Looks like he skipped it though, he say. You don't like the prince, do you? She said. Ha! Is there any reason I shouldn't like His Highness? Fabian shouted at her. Well, why you deserve far better than him. There's something very strange about him, she asked. What do you mean? He explained. Think about it. He gave the order to forge the letter last time, right? Do you think someone who uses other people like that would be in their right mind? It's because of the prince that I haven't been able to go to the back garden. He even used father and the captain of the order to stop me. She think Ricardo did that. I know Ricardo isn't normal. Fine, I'll be careful. Are you happy now? I said, brushing it off. He tearing to confirm his words. I'm just worried you'll get stabbed in the back, she think. But I need him right now because this place feels more like hell to me. Later, we arrived at the dining room. You're both late, my grandfather noted. I'm sorry for we ran into each other and had a little conversation. Fabian interjected. We haven't seen each other in a week. She became surprised. Why is Fabian making excuses for me? He added. All right, I see. Eat before the meal gets cold, Savina say. Yes, grandfather, she thought. Is this a special occasion? I wondered. This is too much food for just 4 people. I guess I should have eaten less earlier. Strawberry desserts for today, she added. Why does he prepare so much dessert when he doesn't even eat any? I'm so full I can't eat. I murmured. Grandfather asked. Don't you like the food? You're barely eating. I guess the food I've been eating lately is giving me indigestion, he added. But I instructed the chef to make only high-quality cuisine for you, called the chef. What has he been cooking for her? She say. Wait. Actually, I've been trying to stay in shape recently. What is the matter with them now? There is no need for that, grandfather said. Why are you concerned about something so insignificant? You look good as you are right now. It would actually be better if she ate a bit more to stay healthy. Someone added. Fabian said. That's right. You won't even be able to walk in the future with that little muscle you have. Children need to eat well and grow up healthy. Josephina, could you put more food on Savina's plate? Maid say. Yes, Your Grace. She think. Why are these people acting this way all of a sudden? The next morning I muttered. You damned Charlots. They've never been helpful in my life. I couldn't sleep because my stomach hurt. That turkey I didn't finish followed me around in my dreams. Maid entered. Oh, my lady! Why are you still in bed? Savina say. I'm tired. Please let me skip breakfast and sleep in, Maid said. If you're feeling tired, you should eat to get the energy you need, Savina replied. I don't think I can take a sip of water right now. I bet you'll reconsider after you see what's for breakfast, she shouted. What is all this? It's from His Grace and the previous Duke Charlot. You expect me to eat all this first thing in the morning? Maid added. They sent them for you, so you should try at least one bite of each dish, my lady. Savina thinking raised in her mind. This really is torture. I can't believe they're torturing me with food now, he added. I'm only looking out for you, grandfather say. You look good as you are right now, Savina. She thought about them that. Are they feeling guilty now? Savina a few years ago would have wept with joy, but it's too late now. I don't even expect it. Still, it's a relief that my last memory here wouldn't be as awful, Savina said. You can take these away. Let the servants share the food and tell uncle and grandfather that I enjoyed breakfast. Maid asked. Are you sure you don't want to try just a little? Savina said. I had enough yesterday. Now that the busy work is done, the maids deserve to enjoy something nice as well, my lady. Melissa gasped. She think. I hope everyone realizes how generous and wonderful you are. Haha. I chuckled softly. Melissa, give me your hands, Maid say. My hands? Savina say. It's not much, but would you take it? She reply. My lady, this is. You never received anything while working for me. I traded some gifts from my grandfather for cash, he say. What? When did you go to the store? Savina added. I can't tell her I used the prince's special ability. Melissa say. What if the previous Duke Charlot finds out? Savina says. It's alright. I sold them myself, so you won't be accused of stealing. And he wouldn't realize anyway since he didn't choose the gifts himself. My lady, I will do a better job of serving you from now on, Savina replied. You can start that tomorrow. I won't be getting home until late tonight. You should spend some time with the people who work at the main building, Melissa asked. Where are you going? She say. Somewhere I've been meaning to go, Prince Highness say. What is that carriage for? He reply. It's for taking Sir Reynold, Your Highness. Is he going to be transferred immediately? No, they will pass through Ciudad, Prince. Ricardo leaned toward me and whispered. Vivian, I'll give you a sign. While I'm talking to the servant, sneak into the carriage, he continued quickly. That carriage used to be a military vehicle, so there should be a storage area where weapons were kept. It should be emptied because it's not needed during the transfer. So hide in there. In about 10 hours, the carriage will arrive in Ciudad, the neighboring territory. Once it arrives at the inn, sneak out and find a room to wait in. I'll be right behind you. How will you get out, Your Highness? Prince Highness said. I've come up with plans, her thinking raised. He never told me what those plans were. Will everything be alright? According to the novel, Ricardo is supposed to be deported to the south after murdering me, then meet and fall in love with a saint there. It's not something I should be concerned about. For the time being, all I have to worry about is my own survival. Everything is ready. I'm finally going to leave this place. Mom, her mother replied to her. Savina, she say. Mom, I'm back. I miss you so much. How did you? Savina, what's the matter? Did something happen at Charlots Manor? Savina said. Nothing happened. You don't have to worry about me. They were so kind to me, her mother added. I only came back because I wanted to be with you, Savina say. Everything is fine. I will take care of you from now on, so you don't have to suffer, Prince Highness say. No. You're coming with me, she think. I must have fallen asleep. What's going on outside? It's blood. This is an attack. How could they attack a carriage bearing the crest of the imperial palace? Could it be? Damn it, he shouted. Untie me! Let me fight with you, she think. Sir Reynolds said. Please let me fight unless you want all of us dead, she think. They all seem to be preoccupied with their own survival. My life will be in danger if this attack continues, he added. Please, who are you? Was there a space under the seat? What are you doing? You. I don't think now is the appropriate time to introduce ourselves. Hide in here for now, alright? Thank you for saving me. She think about him. Is he trying to protect me? What was that? It's Reynolds. This is a relief. Sir Reynolds is still a very skilled fighter, even if he's not as good as Ricardo. I'm sure he will take down the attackers quickly. Is he running away? Savina thought deeply. My legs are numb. I hadn't even heard anything for the last 2 or 3 hours. Would it be alright for me to go out now? But who were the attackers? They didn't seem like bandits. If they were, someone would have stayed behind to search for goods to steal. Maybe they were after Reynolds in the first place. The timing seemed off to suspect the Charlots family or the Empress, so it must have been someone else. It had been announced to the public that Sir Reynolds knew the secret about the Charlots family. Then the one who would gain from obtaining that secret. Was it the first prince? Regarding the time of the attack and the size of the forces, it made sense. It had to be his doing. He asked. Oh, you're still here, Savina surprised. Sir Reynolds, she says. So, you beat all those enemies? It was thanks to the landforms. He explained. The guards were also fighting in the same spot. They were trying to protect me and… He paused, then shifted his attention. Now that the matter has been resolved, let's talk about you. What were you doing in there? He added. The time had come, she said. My name is Viviana. I help with various tasks in the main building's kitchen at Eberton House. Since I had the day off, I was playing hide and seek, and ended up hiding in this carriage. Hide and seek, he repeated, clearly skeptical. Savina said. I wasn't going to stay in there too long, but the carriage departed all of a sudden. She thinks. He didn't seem to believe me. I see, Viviana. Someone might be coming after us, so we should get out of here first, Savina thought. He believes me this easily? How naive is he? Sir Reynolds says. I saw a horse tied on the way here. I think it belongs to the attackers. Viviana, she said. I'm glad there is a horse. Where are you going? He replied. I'm going to the capital, she says. You'll be interrogated if you go there. He replied. Desertion means death to a soldier. It's a knight's obligation to obey any order given by the master, whatever it may be. She thought in her mind. That should sound impressive. So why doesn't it? He said. So the problem is you, not me. I muttered. You have to get back to Eberton House, and I have to go to the capital. But they're in opposite directions. I think we should travel together to the next city and look for a way to return, Savina says. Come on, hop on first. Thank you, Sir Reynolds. I think you should wash off the blood before we get to the city. Oh, 3 days later, at Eberton House, Duke said. You can leave now. Oh, yes, Your Grace, Melissa says. His Grace seems to be in a bad mood these days, Maid reply. Oh, haven't you heard? She explained. Sir Reynolds, who was meant to be sent to the Imperial Palace, has gone missing. All of the guards were brutally murdered, and the attackers were never identified. I heard one of them even killed himself, so His Grace must be in distress. We should keep quiet and focus on work for the time being, she agreed. All right, thinking raised in his mind. I sent out a wanted order, but nothing has come of it. Savina must be shocked as well, since it was her idea to send Sir Reynolds to the Imperial Palace. What? The carriage? Come to think of it, I haven't seen her in a while. I should go speak with her. She's a smart girl. She might come up with a new solution for me. A voice spread. Are you running errands for Lady Savina? Maid reply. Yes, I am. She said she couldn't wait to read the next volume of this book. Other maid added. I'm jealous of your job at the annex. Everyone in the main building is on pins and needles right now because Sir Reynolds went missing. There is a conversation among maids. Oh, but… Lady Savina seems to be very busy as well. Yeah, I don't think I've seen her in a long time. Her laundry looks a lot dirtier than it did before. Right, I don't think her clothes were ever this messy. Where does she go these days? Melissa says. Haha. I will head back now, she added. I thought they caught me. Next time, I should get less dirt on the clothes. I wonder if Lady Savina got away safely. I wish I could buy her more time, he inquired. Melissa, was it? Where is my niece? Benjamin, thinking, proved wrong about her niece. At first, he thought Savina was simply absent for a moment, perhaps changing clothes or out for a quick errand. But the truth sank in quickly and heavily, like a stone in deep water, when Melissa, his niece's maid, knelt before him, her eyes low with guilt. How long? Benjamin asked, his voice low but sharp with tension. How long has my niece been missing? Melissa, hesitating. It's been about 3 days, Your Grace. Melissa replied softly. 3 days. The same day Reynolds was sent away, and they were only reporting this now. He rose to his feet, rage simmering just below the surface. What are you hiding from me? He demanded. If you want money, I will give you as much as you want. Just bring her back here. Immediately. But Melissa shook her head. Your Grace, Lady Savina left this house of her own will. So please, let her go. What? What nonsense are you spouting? He began, but Melissa held out a folded letter. You'll understand once you read this, she said. If you still wish to find Lady Savina after reading it, I cannot stop you. He took the letter, confused and reluctant, and opened it. Hello, Melissa, the letter began. This is my first time writing you a letter. Thank you for your kindness during my short time here. Thanks to you, my last memory of this place wasn't as bad, she continued. Despite the fact that I was kicked out to the annex, things improved more than before. I was able to learn what I wanted, and do what I wished to do. I know it must be hard for you to understand why I am leaving. It must come as a surprise. But I don't regret my decision. I've lived in this house for almost 3 years now. The time I spent here was so terrible I wanted to die. Savina's words hit like blows. I wasn't welcomed by anyone. I even imagined that if I became the good girl they wanted, maybe they'd accept me as family, a happy family, like that portrait on the first floor. I had to at least imagine it, just to get through reality. She wrote of her mother, the most wise and compassionate person in the village, and her father, who brewed tea for those who came to see her. The contrast with this house was stark. Cold. Unforgiving. Here, my mom, who I was once so proud of, became my weakness. He could almost hear her trembling voice through the ink. Whenever someone raises their voice, my heart races. They'd never understand. The hardest part was that no one noticed my pain. Not even once. If they had paid even a little attention, they would have seen even if I didn't say a word. She paused in the letter to reflect. But you can't win love by asking for it. Or by trying hard. Family is not something you should have to earn. And then the moment came. When I thought about all this, I realized I couldn't think of a single reason to stay. I had hit my limit, so I'm leaving. She ended the letter gently, with warmth meant only for Melissa. I hope we can meet again somewhere else, with smiles on our faces. I hope you'll send your best wishes for my new journey. Goodbye. He lowered the letter, fingers trembling slightly. Benjamin thinks it was unmistakably her handwriting. He stared ahead, jaw clenched. It was Savina's suggestion to send Reynolds to the Imperial Palace. Did she prepare all of this just to escape? Was it all a setup to create chaos so she could vanish during the distraction? Before he could make sense of it, a servant burst into the room, panting. Your Grace! His Highness has gone missing! Nobody has seen him since the break of day. Benjamin became froze. The prince is gone? The room tilted. Uncertainty turned to dread. What if the prince had something to do with this? What was that noise? Sir Reynolds became worried. Oh no. I'm being treated like a criminal, and there are wanted posters everywhere. It's obviously me. What do I do? Savina says. No, I think you will be alright. Reynolds added in her words again that, maybe I could reveal my identity to the territory's ruler and request protection, just until I reach the capital. He doesn't have any plans. She mutters. What position do you think you're currently in, Sir Reynolds? She asks pointedly. The first prince seems to be the one who planned the attack, as he's the one pursuing House Charlots' weakness. Plus, the Lord of Ciudad is close with the men of the first prince. It's as if you want to get caught. Sir Reynolds became shocked. I didn't know that much. How do you know all this? I'll help you with your studies once I've cleared myself of the false charges. You are my lifesaver. Savina thinking about him that he has no sense of danger whatsoever. I'm being suspected, but the false accusations will soon be cleared, so I'm not worried. It makes me feel horrible if he's this naive and innocent. Or how about returning to House Charlots, and then going to the capital, she added. That could work as well. I will let you think about it. Where are you going? Sir Renaud asked, she replied. I'm going to the temple for a while. I think I will have to offer prayers for this journey to end safely. I started this, so I should take responsibility for it. You should stay here, Sir Renaud. Unless you want to be caught, Renaud said. All right. After leaving that place, Savina thought in her mind that, does baptism usually end so quickly? The priest almost fell asleep during the process. Even my baptismal name, Isabella, was chosen with no effort. I do like how the name is common and doesn't stand out. The saint's baptismal name in the original story was also Isabella. Her first name was Isabel, so I imagine that was an easy name for her to choose. Savina stared at her hands thinking, I don't think being baptized caused a sudden change in me. I don't have a mark or anything. Anyway, now that I've been baptized, I'll treat Renaud and test my divine power. It's the least I can do since he was falsely accused because of me. Also, I should notify Uncle Benjamin of Renaud's location and have him take him. I have no idea what I'm doing when I can't even take care of myself. She rushed at the wishing place and said to him that, Please step forward. Customer number 532. Please send this to Eberton House, the man asked. To Eberton House? She replied. Yes, please. I'm not sure anyone will be there to receive the letter. I heard Duke Charlot is currently in Ciudad. Uncle Benjamin is here? She added. What are you talking about? He's so preoccupied with overseeing the Charlotte Duchy that he rarely ventures outside, and he only visits the imperial palace on important occasions. The man questioned. Oh, if the recipient is traveling with His Grace, he may not receive the letter. Since the fee is high, Savina says. I don't understand. Why is Duke Charlot here? He says. Oh, I think he came here to look for someone. I've heard that he's also monitoring people's entry. Savina changed her mind and said, I'm sorry. I won't post this letter. I doubt the letter's recipient will be at the manor right now. Thinking raised in her mind. Uncle Benjamin is here? No, it can't be. There's no way he would have traveled here to find me. He must be looking for Renaud. There's no way the Charlot family is looking for me. I need to get away before they. Oh. I was supposed to meet the prince a few days ago at Eberton House. Vivian, Prince Highness had said. First, you need to find a place to stay. And tell the staff to show Ricky the way when he arrives. I will look for that inn. She replied. He said, What do I do? Should I just run away? She added. No. If I betray Ricardo, he will pursue me till my death. But if Uncle Benjamin finds me while I'm waiting for Ricardo, I don't want to go back. A voice came around. Miss, Savina thought. What am I supposed to do? Lady said. Miss, are you all right? You look as pale as a ghost, Savina said to her. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. Prince Highness entered. It's all right. Nothing bad has happened yet, if I just get myself together. Yes, Vivian. You need to be careful. Savina became shocked. Your Highness. Ho, she thinking. Lord Ricardo. What is he doing here, when we were supposed to meet at the inn? What are you doing he? Prince Highness come close in order to hold her hands and says, You should say it's great to see me again first. Savina became nervous. I'm sorry. Oh. We don't have time for this. There was an attack. That's why my hiding place was discovered, and I barely managed to make it to Ciudad. By the way, how did you get in here? The inspection has become really strict, he explained. I wasn't thoroughly inspected because I made a companion. Her thinking raised. Oh, wouldn't it matter since he has that special ability? If I'm with Ricardo, I'll be able to run away easily, as well. Anyway, with Ricardo here, that makes 3 people now gone from Eberton House. It can't be me that Uncle Benjamin is looking for, he added. Anyway, it's good that we met here. Have you found a room yet? She replied. No, I just arrived. I think you should find a room near the inn where I'm staying. Savina explained that I heard Duke Charlot is also here. He must be looking for Sir Renaud. I guess I should say goodbye to Sir Renaud now, he asked. Wait. Are you still with Sir Renaud? Savina said. Yes. He saved my life. I couldn't just leave someone with no money. Thinking raised. I'm sure he could have sold his cuff buttons. But if he does, his identity may be exposed. Prince Highness said. Where is he now? Savina think. Why is he in such a foul mood? On their way to Savina's lodging, she thought, I don't understand. He's not talking at all. Should I try to talk to him while I help him with his bags? A voice come to her. Oh, my lord, I'll carry the bags, she thought. Why is he carrying nothing? He didn't find a lodging yet, so there wouldn't have been a place for him to store his things. I had an uneasy feeling. The reason Uncle Benjamin could travel to see Dad right away, and the reason Ricardo could come meet me without his bags, as if he were on a picnic. Prince Highness smiled. You look like you saw a ghost, Savina asked. Your Highness, why are you still wearing those clothes? It'll draw attention because it's too fancy. Prince Highness come to close and says, You have a keen eye. That's why I liked you. Savina became surprised. She thinks, I need to run. I need to go somewhere with lots of people. He won't be able to use his special ability in a crowded space. I just need to hide well. I'm going to fall. Prince Highness caught her and said, You are so careless, she requested. Please let go of me. Prince Highness say, I can't believe you can still say things like that. Thinking raised, will he kill me if I fight back? He might even kill all the witnesses. For now, I should try to figure out the situation without making him mad. Someone said, Your Highness, he replied. Yes, Prince Highness added. Look for an inn where a child in their early teens and an adult man are staying. Reynold will be there, so find him and bring him to me. Man says, Yes, Your Highness. Prince Highness smiled. Oh, right. They used the alias Ricky when they stayed at the inn. Man asked, What's the matter, Your Highness? Prince Highness replied, It's nothing. Let's go. Savina became angry. What do you think you're doing? Stay still. What is going on right now? Prince Highness added, I just saved you from trying to jump off a moving carriage. That's not what I'm asking, Savina. You seem to be quite startled after bumping your head, so I think you should relax until we arrive. Don't worry, I'll let you get some rest once we get there. She thinks, What nonsense is that? This wouldn't have happened if I hadn't put up a fight. She added, There's no use trying to talk to him. I shouldn't have gotten involved in anything to do with him. With this crazy prince who might kill me at any moment, I need to focus. She staggered forward. He speaks while approaching Savina, his hand reaching out to her face. I need to focus, but within moments, Savina stumbled and fell at the prince's side. Smiling softly, the prince whispers, Sleep well, Savina. Meanwhile, the scene changes. Savina suddenly awakens and shouts in fear, No, I don't want to go back. Sitting right beside her, Prince added softly, This isn't Eberton House or the inn. It's Ciudad Manor. He says this while holding an open book, his gaze briefly lifting from the pages with quiet concern. Just lie down, a voice said gently. You don't seem to be feeling so well, she added. I'm fine, she muttered, sitting up. If I'm unwell, it's probably because of you, he says. Well, all I did was let you into the carriage. But you suddenly fainted, so I was very worried about you. Savina said to him that, Yeah, right. I'm not sure why you brought me here, but let me out. I have no reason to be here. No, he said calmly, his tone shifting. You will have to lie down quietly, because I want you to. She thinking, I have to get out of here. Anywhere would be better than here with this crazy prince. Savina suddenly jumps out of bed and dashes toward the door, looking frightened and desperate to escape. He calmly reaches out his hand toward her, without chasing her physically. Savina instantly collapses on the floor, as if something invisible pulled her down or disabled her movement. She looks confused and alarmed. She's shocked. It's his special ability. Then I felt it again, his special ability. Yes, Prince Ricardo said, as if reading my mind. You've always been a high-maintenance child. Let me go. Savina tried to pull away. Let go! Let go of me! He didn't flinch. Come to think of it, you saw me using my special ability, but you're not shocked. I thought you were timid, but you aren't, Savina asked. Why are you only showing your ability to me? The prince, possibly Ricardo. Because I don't want to make a stupid mistake and reveal my card in a game that I'm losing. I'm sure that's why you told such lies as well. The prince looks calm but serious, eyes sharp with quiet frustration or strategy. Softy says, Poor Savina, her thinking raised. Did he just call me Savina? When did he find out who I really was? Did he hear the news that Lady Savina had gone missing before leaving Eberton House? If he thought the person who made plans with him Vivian might actually be Lady Savina, And if he felt deceived by my attempts to win his trust with a fake identity, then he might kill me, Savina asks. Are you trying to kill me because I lied to you? Prince Highness replied to Savina. If that were the case, you wouldn't be here now. Then why? Suddenly, the door bursts open with a loud bang. Savina! A voice cried out, cutting me off. Ricardo calmly added, They're here, as if he already knew everything. They were here, Uncle Benjamin. And the former Duke Charlot? She thinks. What are they doing here? Duke Charlot asked. Are you hurt? How did you end up here? The former Duke asked, eyes wide. Savina became shocked. Huh? Was he crying? The former Duke Charlot is crying? How did they know where I was in the first place? Man added, Sir Reynold will be transferred to the Imperial Palace as you ordered, Your Grace. A knight reported, Benjamin said. He will also have to be held accountable for kidnapping Savina. Savina thinking, Sir Reynold kidnapped me? I whispered, stunned. Did he? Ricardo, he betrayed me. Prince Highness smiled. Oh, you must have been terrified because you were kidnapped by a bad person. Ricardo said smoothly. He says, Your Highness. The Duke addressed him. I would like to compensate you in the name of Charlot for saving Savina, Prince Highness says. I don't want your entire trust in the imperial family to be shattered because of what one knight did. So please, don't be too furious, he replied. Of course, Your Highness. You've been a great help to us. Uncle Benjamin added, Prince Highness says. That may not be how other people feel. Ricardo replied. Sir Reynold was my bodyguard. After all, Benjamin said I will do everything I can to prevent people from misconstruing you. Prince Highness said to him, but there is no token of promise for me to just believe your words and do nothing. He paused and looked at them seriously. Is there anything in particular that you want? The Duke asked. I saved Lady Savina, Prince Ricardo said plainly. So it's only fair that you save me from this crisis as well. Marriage has long been regarded as a promise by two people to spend their entire lives together, as well as a reliable symbol of allegiance. So, he began, his voice calm but firm as he turned towards Savina, eyes locked onto hers with quiet intensity. Will you let me take Lady Savina as my bride? The words struck the air like thunder in a quiet room. What? Savina gasped, her breath catching in her throat. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as it really helps our channel grow. Thanks.